ฟ้าก็ฟ้า
Beast
เดียว
lit the
กัน
name of the game here, and there are 3 members of
แต่
Nongshim.
จันทร์ดูคล้าย
The
ลำเอี
Reckoning
ย
and the Armageddon are on the
ง
other side of the map.
ส่อง
They are
แส
not going to reach
ง
towards
ล
that
ง
B
มา
side.
เพียงเสี้ยวสำหรับผู้ชมที่ชมอยู่ตอนนี้นะครับอย่าลืมกดไลค์กด Subscribe Channel ให้ด้วยนะครับและติดตามการสตรีมของผมได้ที่ sooflight.com ครับลิงก์อยู่ด้านล่างครับ
Looking up. Couple shots out there. Hyunmin hunting for some tag damage. Not going to find much. Mako going to find a kill. Doesn't he suspect it? Oh, seems like he does. Goes ahead, trades it up 2-1 in that regard. In the meantime, back over here on the A site. Trimming up over the top, able to find one as Hyunmin will get taken down. So some damage suffered, but ultimately we find ourselves now in a 3v3.
นี่เฮียอะไรเนี่ยข้างล่าง
Plant top side as well.
เฮ้ยอะไรอ่ะโอ้ซูม number 1
soon.
Slow drift back there from Estrella.
คืออะไรวะ
Situated on pipes, Bane
อันนี้อะไรครับเนี่ย
lurking and freeing, watching for this flank. It's seen the Viper. It
โอ้ย
And now he's going to confirm that position. Ops just go ahead back.
ช่วยด้วย
Those salvos available still. Needing them for the post plant, but freeing.
ยกขวา
Good damage. Headshot there through the corner of the wall. Puts him down to 50. Puts him flying, but Estrella joins in, holds the angle. Now the salvo's free to fly.
ตอนนี้กูดูในซูมที่มีปะช่องอังกฤษอะ
And okay, actually going to be able to find the kill there. Primmy, a nice headshot. Looks for a little bit more, but ultimately cannot get this round win. That's going to be DRX starting things off 1-0 with the pistol going their way, and 2 players escaping the blast radius.
And they'll be happy with that one as well, considering the shenanigans afoot in the
ไป
pre
เก็บไปเฮียมาเว้ยซูม number 1เว้ย
round. Very interesting, the change up for Talon
Woohoo!
coming back in towards this one too, right? Of course,
Soup
last
number
time they played
one!
their comp, they're going back to the one that they bested T1 on a couple weeks back. It was a good 13-6 with a flawless defensive half.
ว่าแล้ว
Already
แม่ง
right
เริ่ม
now,
ออกอา
dropping
การ
pistol means
แม่ง
it's
เริ่ม
not
ออก
gonna
อา
be
การไอ้
forced
บึ้มแม่งเริ่มออกอาการละ
Well, going forward here, looking for a clean anti-eco. 2 ghosts for the side of DRX. So not as much firepower. They've been actually playing around with their buys a bit more as of late and really
แล้วไม่จับมือนะ
anti-eco rounds.
ไม่ชนหมัด ขอชนหน้า
He's going to be backpedaling here.
ปาด
Escapes back
โมโห
around
ว่ะ
the opposite side of that harbor
ไม่
wall.
รู้
And
เกิดอะไร
Salvo
ขึ้นครับ
can
แต่
go
อิ
ahead
น
and delay the plan. Spot out on the
เนียน
one.
อินเขาเรียกว่าเนียนอิน
Going to be suffered there by Hyunmin.
ตายหนึ่ง
Makes his quick exit. Still has that guardian.
ตายอีก
in
สอง
hand. Is free. Comes away
Oh.
with a second, a third. Oh
The
my
fuck,
God.
man?
Anyway, shot in the final bullet. And
Lad
Mako
bullet.
swooping out will find Kahlua. DRX looking to make this a flawless anti-eco.
Let's see what damage Premier can do here. Couple low members.
And
โอ้ย
Will
ยิง
just be
นาน
free,
นะ
picking up a 4K to fast
แต่
track
ไม่เป็นไร
towards that
ฟรีอิงเนียน
Armageddon.
ติ
So 2
เราห
charges
น้า
off, having
ชิว
that
ๆเว้
one
ย
at the ready. DRX locking the
ชิวๆเว้ย
flawless.
And Bane not noted on the lurk as well, something that
เหี้ย
he's
กูบอกเลย
starting
นะ
to find a lot of proficiency
บ
in
นนั้นลาม
lately
มีโอกาส
too.
โดนสูงมาก
Of course,
ถ้ามัน
coming
เก็บ
back
ออฟอันติ
into
แล้วมันไปวาง
good
โคตรแพ
form
นิค
in the game this week. So I'll be interested to see how the lurks are going to be navigated a little bit later on, and if he's going to be targeted perhaps by Talon, because the game plan for them on this defensive side coming in towards this bonus, you want to see Primmy start to get activated, you want to see him potentially get onto an operator later as well. Just be very consistent.
4 regen shields in here for the side of DRX. Hyunmin
อุ้ย
instantly
เชี่ยรีคอนนี้
taken
ของ
out.
ดีว่ะ
Solid
ที
headshot
จด
for
ดิ
Primmy, looking for a little bit more, get some damage across.
เอาไปใช้
His exit, plays it out wisely.
จด
Just getting the spot out here.
รีคอนยิงไม่ได้ครับ
Swing back
ขึ้นมา
around
ไม่
the
ได้
opposite
ด้วย
side of 410.
รีคอนแม่ง
Yeah,
บ้า
this is
มาก
just a bit of a default from Talon too, meanwhile. Not rotating too much around the map, a bit of a interest in the two
Jit
from
boys.
Jit Boys.
Yeah, there at the window. But it's
จิต
gonna be
จิต
Mako
ไหวโกรธเปล่า
taking some damage.
กลับมาไปเลย
Yeah, ultimately still looking to go for this A site though.
จิตไหวโกรธเปล่าจิต
Capped on those
Did
regen
right, go about
shields. As stealth drone not going to be spotting out too much here. Drone over the top from Cruz, able to get the spot out.
กลับไม่ได้นะอย่างงี้กลับไม่ได้นะ
Meanwhile, stealth drone going around the back.
ยังไงโกรธยังไง
Onto Mako, tucks back under 2, but now
หา
he's
ยาก
in
จัง
a really poor
ฮัลโหล
spot.
ยิงให้โดนหน่อยดิ
Double pressure
นั่น
out
ไง
from
แล้ว
Talon here
แม่ง
at
แม่งหลุด
barrage.
แม่งหลุดปล่อยเสือเข้าป่าแม่งหลุดเดี่ยวโรนัลโดไปแล้วฮะโกะ
Swinging back, realizing that
โอ้โห
DRX are gonna look to go ahead and try to re-swing this across into the B site, where now Mako is in an
หลุด
entrenched
เดี่ยวโร
position.
นัลโดฮะ
A lot
มา
of
โกะ
passiveness from the rest of Talon over at that
กรรม
A
การ
site.
เป่าหน่อย
Also getting the inkling that this is going to switch over towards B.
They opened it up, but Mako still able to find
Yeah,
one before he
man,
gets
I don't
taken down
die.
high. Kill found, but DRX at this point, 22 seconds remaining. They are going to be all in on this site. Rotation still coming through as Primmy, a late linger on that A site, can now start making his way across, but 14 seconds for the delay tactics.
อุ้ยเวลาหมดนะ เวลาหมดนะ
side of Talon, DRX in a bad spot. Shock dart gonna fly. Now looking to just go ahead and commit for the stick, but no.
เรียบร้อยเวลาหมดแล้วครับเวลาหมดแล้วครับไม่มีวันไม่มีวันไม่มีวันไม่มีวัน
They're just getting overwhelmed and taken down. Talon will go ahead and get themselves online. Just one casualty here in the anti-bonus.
Yeah, a lot of great patience from Talon
ไม่ชน
as
อยู่
well.
แล้ว
Great
เดินจบ
start
ก็
with
ไม่ช
Primi
น
picking
ค
up
รับ
the first kill,
เหี้ย
not
มันขนาด
immediately
นี้แล้ว
dashing away. Even, you know, coming in towards this round, you're
เปิดด้วย
looking
ไม่
at
ช
a
น
bit
ใน
of
เฮีย
a
จะจบด้วยชนเหรอ
bonus for DRX on the shield department, but there's no real push from DRX.
เอารองเท้ามาตบหน้ากูเลยอะ
The better of them, the lurk timing, or rather the flank timing coming out, I really like from Talon in that one. Great recognition for the drone from Killua too. If he's always going to be pushing garage and they're going to be going there in tandem, you're going to have to see some adjustments early on from DRX to make sure that they're not crunch stop on.
โกงที่หายเลยที
At the top, there's a reveal out. 3 players going to be spotted. Kill not found.
มีนะ
Tiny bit of damage, but otherwise still
Okay,
relatively safe. But it's a
เบค
good
อนดี
amount of
มากๆครับ
information gained for
ไม่ให้
Talon on
เดิ
the
น
rim.
ขึ้นมา
And same kind of setup for them
ปกติ
as
ดูนี่จะ
well.
ถือมีด
Just leaving Jip
มีด
Boys
วิ่ง
into
หน้า
mid
มึนๆขึ้น
in
มา
a different location,
แล้วให้
not
เพื่อนยิงให้นี่ไม่ได้
Kitchen
ละ
this time specifically
เหี้ยหามานะ
for the remainder of the
แล้ว
squadron.
ฝั่งนู้น
It's
แก้ไม่
pretty
ได้
much
เลย
the
เพราะว่า
same.
โดน
Need
เบร
to
ก
see
หม
some
ดเลย
heroics from Marco
ข้าง
if
ล่าง
he
ก็
wants
โด
to
น
try and do
ข้างบ
something
นก็
at
ขึ้
the
น
B
ไม่ได้
side of the map. But for right now,
เคยทำแล้วนะ
it's just playing the
แต่ฝั่ง
patient
นู้นแก้ไม่
game.
ได้ครับ
Drone out,
DRX
confirming that there's
อัน
still
นี้
members surrounding the A
นุ่มนะ
site.
นุ่มนะ
As the minute mark approaches, this is where you would assume that DRX start to layer in a little bit more of this utility, get some information from freeing.
A little bit more emphasis on mid here, Mako. Bang the join in, make this a bit more of a reinforced push.
อยู่โซแบดไอ้สัส
Recall on the alarm bot, check into the window, but nothing really seen here.
อันนี้รีคอนอะไร
Be cautious about potentially having
ไม่ได้เชี่ยเลยรีคอน
under 2, but isn't reading it. But Mako sticks around, goes for the peak. Jit Boy's going to be taken down. Primi here
มีสตาร์ท
on
เครื่อง
that
แล้วครับ
right-hand side on the approach, but it's going to be
Lung
Payne
Yim
coming
Jot.
away with the kills. Cruz gets taken out. Primi's still
แย่
here.
ว่ะแม่ง
The
แทงพร้อ
tailwind
มๆกัน
expiring,
ว้าว
needing to
เฮ้ย
buy
แทง
some damage and can
แท
just
งดิ
push up into the cover. They're watching
โอ้
for the answers.
แล้วไม่แทงอะไรตรง
Absolutely.
นั้นนะไม่แทงใก
Free
ล้ๆอ่ะ
right there on top.
มีเหล็กบังโอ้
As now the double push out from B is going to be noted.
แล้วเห็นหลัง
Mako
สอง
dead.
ทำ
Gets
ไง
all the info
ผม
they
ว่าไป
need.
ทีดีครับรออะไร
Yeah, just going to retreat, set up for the post properly here.
ไปแล้วครับ
That's just going to be the save call from Talon too.
Yeah, it seems like it's just going to have to be the back off. And 3 players are going to be lost. Cash not in the greatest position. Primi, granted, does have knives, so can go ahead and pull those out in the next round. And DRX going to be allowed to move up 3-1 here to start things off on Icebox.
เพลินๆว่ะ
It's
ฟอนแม่ง
always
เพลิ
a
นๆให้เราเล
position
ย
as well for
ฟอนแม่ง
Talon
ของ
so
เก่ง
far,
อะ
having Primi and Cruz towards the
Fun
A
Ming
site,
Teo,
and
yo.
kind of being a bit
Fun
respected
Ming
too, with DRX not pushing
Hey.
too far forward, where
Fun
Cruz might be
Ming.
able to grab that ulti orb and pick up the Hunter's Fury. Definitely have a couple of components that you could work with coming in towards the next round, but it is another highlight of DRX wanting to play this one extremely slow, seeing if there's any overextension from the Talon members, which there isn't really too much, so we might see a little bit more haste from DRX put into the fray in the next coming rounds.
They could just go for a really quick hit here. That Armageddon is available, so can just use it to flush out
Fun
something like the
Ming.
B site. We'll see.
Yeah, but a change up
Alright, he did
immediately
that.
from
Alright,
Talon
Alright.
as well. 3-1-1 set up.
เชื่อจะดันจะยึด
Cruz
จะอะไรสัก
probably
อย่าง
not incentivized to be grabbing that ulti orb by himself
ตอนเนี้ย
with the buy up here for Talon.
Thinks about it. You can see him inching forward there on the mini map.
He's going for it.
Consideration. Should have been able to grab it. So yeah, it does have that Hunter's Fury online now.
And a big push up. B-long as well for Talon here. This time 3 of them instead of the normal 2.
Great set up from behind though. We'll be able to go ahead and give out the early alert. Obviously numbers won't be confirmed, but they'll be able to go ahead and no presence. Mako at the same time though might be getting caught on a timing.
Well, might actually find some timing for himself if he does push into
Unicorn!
Slides forward. Knows that there's going to be a player here behind,
ดู
but
ซับสไครต์ครับ
ได้วะ
he's looking to just play this quietly here for the moment. Primi on the check,
Sủi,
swings
Pim.
out. Minor
ผมเหมือน
damage
เดิมนะ
taken.
พิมพ์
Finds the
กระ
headshot.
โดดล้อม
Mako
จับ
now
แล้วครับ
on
ตอน
the
นี้
floor.
Now DRX
โดนล้อม
as
จับ
they
แล้ว
go
ครับ
for plan, they're going to have to play a battle in
ก
two
ระโดด
sides of the map.
เจอ
Primi just looking to try
สวย
to
พิมพ์
one tap, finds it. Gunman does manage to shut him down before he can do more damage and finds the follow-up on the tie to keep
โอ้
it down to
และที่เดิมแม่งฉายหนังซ้ำไป3 คน
clean shots from Hyunmin, bailing them out
โอ้
here
โห
in the round.
ไอ้เหี้ยพระรามอีกหนึ่ง
Falls, so
โอ้
too shall
หาแล้ว
Cruz.
ได้เวลาขำแล้ว
Australia looking snappy, and now for Jit Boys, it's really just about trying to deal some
Hey,
form of
hey,
damage,
hey,
stop
hey,
that
hey,
economy
hey,
of
hey,
DRX from
hey.
really bubbling up. Not sure if Estrada's going to be ready for this.
Oh,
No, not at all.
นี่ทำอะไร
Guardian into the back of the head. Some damage found. Clutch on the round. Possible, but the time just not quite there for him. So we'll just go ahead, drift away with the weapon upgrade. DRX now going to move up 4-1.
Yeah, a little bit of a unfortunate scenario for Talon when you consider that they've got the numbers and the pieces on the flank as well. You've got some good blade action coming through from Primi, but it's just Counterjet and Hyunmin hitting some very crispy headshots. You see them back in the replay, and they're all individual jewels that have been sent his way as well. There's no double coming in.
มิดใส่แม่งขึ้นไปจากตรงนั้นไอ้เหี้ย
Make sure that they're shaking off a couple of those nerves.
มันจะไม่มองได้ไง
All of their communications in the better scenario. Because it's going to be another one here where
ไม่
it's
มองยังไง
not
โกะมาเห็น
the
สาม
greatest buy to come through for Talon.
อีก
Time
ทาง
of
หนึ่ง
course as well, so we're going to have a bit
มัน
of
มีสอง
a
รูครับ
discussion to have.
No, we're not.
No, it's the wrong one. We had one
เอ้า
yesterday.
มันมีสอง
It
รู
was
มึง
very
ไม่รู้
quick.
เหรอ
It was a small gear issue.
Oh,
but I feel like you on the desk cursed it a little bit because you get some big ones.
อีกรูนึงน่าจะมีกำแพง
Alright,
เซฟ
well,
ด้วย
yes, that's true.
Yeah.
In the past. It's been all right. My last day out, we also had a minor gear issue. We were, in and out. So, hopefully, all should be well.
Hopefully.
แย่แล้ววะ
As
อุ้ย AK โลมาว่าไง
like perhaps over here on the side of Talon.
ให้มาตอนที่
being
มี
told similar gear issue here. So hopefully something relatively quick, get this dealt with and back underway. But I'm right there with you. I was
มึง
expecting
มีปัญหาอะไรเนี่ย
to
กู
potentially
บอก
be
ว่า
that outcall.
มึงรู้ไหมทำไมคนที่
But
3 ถึง
as soon
ขึ้
as
น
I saw the timer start making it past that 25-second remaining mark, I'm like, okay, they're still going to leave the players out here.
แล้ว
They're
กู
still
บอกว่าอะไร
going to chill and
ก็
see
เพราะ
what
ว่า
they can
มัน
do
ค
on
ง
their
คิดว่า
own.
ไม่มองแล้วที่เดิม คือมันจะทำเหี้ยอะไรฝั่งตรงข้ามเพื่อนดูหรืออะไรเนี่ยมึงมีปัญหาอะไรเนี่ยฮะมึงจะโชว์ภูมิเหี้ยอะไรครับไอ้โง่ทั้งที่โง่ดักดานในสัตว์ฮะอันไหนกูพูดอะไรผิดเนี่ย อันนี้กูพูดอะไรผิด ไหนมึงลองแจ้งหน่อยดิ โกะแจ้ง3 อะไรเหรอ ยังไง กูบอกว่าทำไมคนที่ 3 ถึงขึ้น เพราะไอ้กูคงคิดว่าที่รัวมันคงอ่านว่าแบบไม่ขึ้นทางนั้น3 คนกูพูดอะไรผิดอ่ะไหนมาย้อนใหม่กับกูนี่มากับกูนี่มามึงอ่ะ มาดิ ไหนไอ้ภูมิโง่ๆมึงอ่ะมาหน่อยดิ
Just get a little bit of a breather, a little bit more opportunity to calm down. Granted, yes, cannot communicate with each other, with the coaching staff during this time about the game, but at least just give those.
มันมีโอกาสกันครับพี่ชาย
Take a deep breath and say, okay, we got this.
มันมีโอกาส
Yeah, and of course, there's always going to be one of those veto
มึงรู้ไหม
situations
ทำ
as
ไม
well when
ที่
you
รัว
come
ถึง
in
ขึ้น
towards this one in an
เพราะ
elimination
ว่า
bracket. What are you changing
มั
up?
นคง
How
คิด
much
ไม่เล่น
practice
ตรง
have
นั้น
you
ว่า
had
3
to,
คน
right? Because for
มัน
Talon,
มีโอกาส
they had to play yesterday. They had a not the cleanest game against Nongshim.
กูไม่ได้มองว่าไอ้ที่นั่นจะมองทำไมนะ
scores coming through at the end results as well.
แต่กูมองว่าทำไมรัวถึงขึ้นตรงนั้น3 คน
So they do have a little bit of prep that they can come in towards today as
มึง
well
เข้าใจ
against
ประเด็นไหม
DRX.
กูเป็นมุมขี้รัวนะ
Back in this situation in a lower bracket run, are we going to have another Korean team go international?
กูไม่ได้สนเลยว่าไอ้ที่นั่นมองทำไมอ่ะ
into grand final
แต่
here,
ทำไม
maybe
ขี้รัว
top
ถึงขึ้น
three, who knows?
เพราะว่ามันมีโอกาสใช่ไหมนี่คือคำตอบของมึง
This
ใช่
has
ไหม
been, I think, pretty much globally a very topsy-turvy time.
ไอ้ภูมิ ไอ้โชว์ภูมิ
A lot of these
ไหน
teams
บอกกูดิ
that you expect, especially off the back of Bangkok, to be able to qualify to be surefire hits. Barely squeezing into the tournament.
พอดพอดีด้วยหาอะไรทำตอนพอดนี่แหละ
The obvious one, given that they are that trophy lifting team, but G2 had to go in as a third seed. Vitality still.
ต่อไปไวมันไม่ดีเลยขนาดนั้นหรอก
There's a ton of inconsistency across the
ผ
board.
มว่ารัวก็น่าจะพอรู้ว่ามันน่าจะมีโอกาสล็อกนะ
Missed since 2022
อ่ะ
when they
และ
won the LCQ.
มึงคิดว่ามันโง่ขนาดนั้นเลยไง
Massive shake off.
มันถือมีดวิ่งขึ้นไปเหรอ มันก็รู้
Trying to get some championship points.
อันนั้นก็ถูกของมึง
to get into
แต่มึง
towards
ว่า
chance at the
มัน
end of this year.
ไอ้รัวมันจะโง่ขนาดนั้นเลยเหรอ
Vocal,
ว่าแบบ
Frost saying
มัน
that
ก็ระวัง
this
ตัว
team
แล้วไง
is
แต่ไอ้ที่นั่นมันก็ล็อก
right?
อยู่
If they're bowing out here, that's nothing extra for this stage one. They
แต่
have
มัน
to
พูด
do
ตรง
a
มันมีคนที่พิมพ์ว่า
big effort in
มุม
stage
เดิม
two.
3 คนกูเลยบอกว่าทำไมรัวถึงขึ้น เพราะว่ารัวคงคิดว่ามันคงไม่มองที่เดิม3 คนหรอก เล่นที่เดิม3 คนหรอกมึงเข้าใจไหม เอางี้วันนี้กูเหม็นหน้ามึง กูว่าเขาตีไง
You need some
กูปาก
ambition though.
อย่าให้กูเห็นแชทอีก
from Talon in a
หนัง
round
สัต
such
ว์
as this. They've got Killua down onto a sheriff, so he's going to play a little bit more
โชว์ภูมิไม่น่า
informative,
เหี้ย
bait and switch.
ทั้งที่คนละฝั่งกับกูเลยเฮียกูพูดถึงในมุมคิรัวไม่มีโอกาสโกบอก3เฮียฉุก
Somehow doesn't actually get any shots in. Ty managing to dodge out those bullets.
กูเล่นไม่เป็นใช่ไหมใน
Himself
เกมเนี่ย
perfectly alive and comes away with the early kill. So now into the 4v5
กูเห็น
on the
เอ็กเล
attack.
กูเห็นมินิแมปกูเห็นทุกอย่างโกบอก3ครับ
Talon
ผม
getting
thank
nicely
you
clustered together. Should be in a solid position to try to go for a flood retake.
This sort of spot as well. Would like to see Marco get that pit down on the site.
เดี๋ยวมึงได้เป็นในเทอร์มิกูเป็นในฟอ
He
ร์
has to watch here from behind. Hyunmin is moving forward, gets himself up onto the belt. Spotting one, dropping, hitting the floor, and puts both
มีใคร
players
บอกไอทีเอส
down.
วายนี่ไหมมีใครบอกไอ้ต่ายไหมอยู่ขวา
Lack
เนี่ย
of reaction.
หันซ้ายเสร็จปุ๊บหันขวา
Not realizing
Nick Knight,
whatsoever.
Nick Knight.
Tap at the spike. Jit boys doing well. Bringing this back into a 3v3, but now the salvos fly to further delay. Push under the corner. Mako drags across, finds the headshot. The Armageddon gets sent here from Fring to further buy more time. They swing out. Hyunmin finding the first, and the shots are crisp.
Consistency from Hyunmin at the moment, kind of catching the Talon members on the flank with the note from Marco first, and he's just going for them. They're looking the wrong way, expecting a different location peak to come on out. I'm thinking to myself, okay, we're seeing the same sort of slotting from Talon around the map. 2 players over at the B site in Killer and Die. They get a kill, they pill for a gun, they have some upgrades. They're expecting that this is going to end over to the A site. It kind of just gets pulled apart from then. You've got the salvos online, you've got the Armageddon, we're both invested, you still hold on to the pit for the next coupler, and this is the scenario that we're talking about just before during that tech pause, right? It's not too unexpected that you would get a pause after either immediately or the round.
เทโฮแม่งดีจริงเปล่าวะ
This time of the
แม่งสับสนแล้วแม่งเกิดการสับสน
That's what we like to see.
ในหมู่ชาวโซเชียลแล้วกันไอ้เหี้ยฮาบอกแม่งตบกูเป็นขี้เลย
Back to yesterday as well, and we see in the beginning stages, adjustment periods from Talon. It took them 4 rounds on both maps, on both halves, to figure out what Nongshim were doing before they actually woke up.
ไม่สงสัยแต่เลิกดันเถอะมันต้องดันเว้ย
The awakening moment to kind of clean house. So if
เพราะว่า
this is sort of
การ
the
ที่
same
ดัน
scenario
มา
that
รี
they
เทค
slot
เนี่ย
themselves in
อ้อมห
here,
ลังเนี่ยมันคือ
maybe
การ
we see them
เคา
switch
น์เตอร์
on,
บทแผ่
maybe
น
we
ไอ้เหี้ย
see
ถ้า
a
อยู่
little bit
ข้างหน้า
more
5 คนอะ
fluidity around the map, better rotations, better just plays together, because we're not seeing anything too different from DRX, right? It's like the B site at the moment doesn't exist. They're just going A and A and A.
Yeah, we should just remake Icebox and just remove the B side.
Oh, for sure.
Just A with, it won't be mid anymore. We'll have to call it left side. And you just, you can go through the front or you can go around the other way, and that's it. I guess you can leave like
แล้วทำไม
kitchen
ใช้
in
รี
there.
คอนเนี้ย
Let's put the other side in kitchen.
Ooh, Hyunmin. Rare
Hey!
this map to not be able to find that in
แล้วรีคอนนั้นไม่ดีตรงไหนอะ
And it looks like this time DRX, they might be considering the other side of the map, at least for a moment.
Yeah, for a slight moment, there's always the option that they're going to be able to go back there, of course. Not seeing any push-ups through B long just yet. You'll see a stealth drone come up from a back position too, generally a little bit more forward. So if DRX are at least keeping an eye on where those utilities are coming from, they know it's a little bit more of a backline angle from Talon
ฮา
here.
บอกมันเอาเรื่องอยู่
Talon
นะ
now
ทำไมตอน
realizing that this is going to be a bit more heavy presence.
Talon
Stealth
len
previously
ไม่ค่อย
only
เป็น
really
หรอ
spotting out the killjoy. Doesn't tell them much of anything there, but
มันกิน
Marco
พื้นที่
now
ดีอยู่นะ
lingering forward, calling for the team to rotate around. I'll wait out this stealth jump, or rather this
เฮ้ย
recon dart.
ไม่มี
Maybe
ขวา
not loaded just yet, by the
มี
way.
ไหมขวาเอ้ย
He's just running up, and Mako's now found it. Swings the angle, and it's one of those plays that makes you think, are they telling him to run, to bait the angle, to keep the eyes trained there, or is it all just dumb luck? Either way, it's Mako with 2. A sight opened up, and Bane, very far back linger here in the spawn. Gets the catch on the Jin boys. Thai gonna try to flush him out with the Guardian, but loses the fight as well.
And what can Killer do in a 1 versus 5 department, but run away with his tail between his legs. The hunt could even come on to him now with the credits not looking too stellar for Talon. Get a little bit closer to your ults as Bane and, well, Australia would pick it up if he goes a-hunting.
And looks like they are going to have Estrella swinging around looking for something here. Lua tucked in, can hear these footsteps behind, and the check nearly kills him.
นี่เช็คหยอกๆนะนี่เช็คหยอก
The
ๆนะ
one side swoops in and can't quite get it alive fast enough. Kalua does keep himself alive, weapon in hand. We'll have to rebuy the armor. DRX now 6-1.
With Death, Australia will pick up the reckoning too, but the important factor right now for DRX is they are converting after Talon's timeout, so no value, no weight or adjustments. You see in the early stages that you're mentioning, Cruz sending out the recon dart, it's spotting nothing. You've got Primi on the belt line. They're having confidence in him that he's going to be good for 1 or 2, maybe fall back, and then the team can have enough time afforded to get their rotations out. He's just caught
คือ
by
แม่งแก้
himself.
ไม่ได้
No
ว่ะ
trades.
มันดูไม่ค่อยละเอียด
DRX
ไง
selling
วะ
a good little fake with the util that they
หรื
put
อ
over
แบบ
towards
ทามมิ่ง
the
มัน
B
แย่ง
side.
ด้วยมัน
And again, as I said, you know,
มันรีคอนไปตรง
the
นี้
A
แม่งอยู่ตร
side
ง
is
นี้
where
แล้
they
ว
were kind of
มัน
always
รีคอน
just
เคลียร์
going.
อย่างนี้
It's going to be back there for
คิด
the
ว่าไม่มี
beginning
ใคร
stages at least right now. Same
ว่ามัน
ambition line to come up from Primi. He's got Killua with him,
No.
so a bit of a different look this time in terms of the
Look at it,
initiator force for Talon.
ต้องได้นะ
Actually get a target this time. Ooh,
May
top
pom.
of the hat, gonna be spotted there, but Bane
วัดดิ
Similar.
วัดเลย
spotting out Primi in kind.
อะไรวะ
Just be with Bill tucked back, the
เฮ้ย
reckoning
ยังไม่นอน
now
อีกเหรอเพื่อน
opening up on the site.
บ้ามาก
As some nanos get popped here,
Good lab,
waiting here on the side of the wall. Primi coming away with 1. Estrella gonna be taken
Ooh,
down.
home
Up
kick.
top goes Gunman and Jit Boys
เอา
immediately
ชิบหายยิง
snipe
ไฟ
him out
ไม่
of
โด
the
น
sky.
โดนไฟไล่
Just the 1 kill answered back here for now.
Ui,
with
ui, đây
DRX
tấm đèn
for the
đi.
moment very much contained and held at bay.
สวยโอ้โห
Primi.
เขียนแม่พิมมี่เอาละ
He's looking electric here. 3 kills found. Cruz
ให้เลย
it does go ahead and eventually put down Mako. Just the 1 casualty. Talon
ถือว่าเราอยู่ถูกบอมไม่เฉย
It feels like we were waiting for just
Lao
some
ni.
sort of individual
Dù lưm,
performance from
bọn mình xuôi.
Talon or maybe a proper effort by committee. This time Primi doing the lion's share of it, but the rest of the team to watch his angles as well, to just dance around the site, dance around the reckoning. Big swatting from Jit Boys, by the way, onto the right-click attempt of Hyunmin. But a better look this time for Talon, as I mentioned, changing the initiator force for them, but I don't think that's really the big thing that worked out for them. They were just ready for some sort of aggression from DRX with the right numbers.
Crucially, they get rid of 2 ultimates as well.
Yep.
Blades committed alongside that reckoning, so it ends up being a bit more costly for DRX, despite the fact that they still have a significant lead.
แต่คอมเราบุกโหด
Invested over
โค้ด
at
แผ่นก็โหด
green here for the moment.
โซว่าไว
It kind of
เป
blocks
อร์
the
เตะ
avenue of
โหด
DRX
คิว
where
จ
you're
อย
only
โอ้
seeing
ย
really Marco go
แม่
through
ง
mid.
สวยอ่ะ
The rest of the team
ขอ
over
สัก
through to
ท่า
A, which
กำลัง
they're
ดี
silently approaching.
ไม่ถึงกับ
Change up position here for Primi. Top of screen. Swing out. Ring. Able to go ahead and find that kill from Nest. And once again, pop to try to buy some time here. Jit Boys does have the lockdown. Sends it. No Armageddon to go for a clear on this.
ออกไหมวางเหรอ
And now being
Oi.
committed to. This just means it's going to be probably a bit of a late exit. Not an
Cái
exit
lên
at
đây
all.
hả?
Straya taken down in
ไม่
transit.
มีใครหงิกเนี่ยโดนโค้ดแผ่นละ
Hit is out here from the side of Mako. Immediate tap coming through. Hyunmin scaling forward. Narrowly is able to get the weapon out in time to take down Jit Boy. Swing onto the corner though. Killua going to be good for that. As Freeing is just fearlessly riding the rope across. He's making all the noise in the world, and now it's getting frantic. Mako spraying. Barely is able to find 1, and now needs to clutch it out here from within the pit.
ตายเอาให้หน่อย
High on the approach.
อุยโก้
At the top of the bite. Mako
อุยโก้เฮ้ย
so damn cleanly
Well
gets the
done.
3K.
โอ้โห
You might as well call it a
โอ
clutch.
เค
DRX now
โอเค
7-2.
โก้
I mean, essentially so, right? The value that the pit provides for them and the time being bought when the lockdown is out too. Enough time from the salvos and the nano just already placed on towards the spike. And at that point in time, you're putting everyone into the pit. The decay effect starts to come through for Talon. That's why some loose sprays in that sort of scenario work a treat. And then Marco, very patient, very stone cold. Not faltering in that one. And it's back to normal fashion, you would assume, for DRX right now on this map.
Just anytime
Map.
Talon gain an inch, they lose a mile.
โคตรถึงอ่ะ
7-2 now is we're just going to be cycled back. Australia already over halfway towards that next reckoning.
Yeah, it is just die at the moment over towards this B side too, with now Primi coming over
Hey.
to assist, but the walls are up.
ตายเลยไม่ได้
Blocking
หรอ
vision.
Damage onto Hyunmin here.
This would actually be a pretty good call
Sủi
for
chít.
a fake right now as DRX. You've
Đây
still
lướt,
got
đây lướt, đây
alert
lướt,
coming
đây
out
khảo,
from
đây
Bane,
khảo
a
rotate
lockdown
ทุกอย่าง
in play available if needed. And the rest of the force actually for Talon are all around this B site.
They tap, they get some util out, and it looks like they want to
นี่แหละ
rotate off of that.
นิ่งไว้
Mako though.
มึงต้องรู้ว่าโกะจะมา นิ่งไว้
Jit Boys. He's
แค่
hearing
นิ่งก็ได้กิน
footsteps.
แล้วโอ้มันรู้ว่าโรเท
Get
ต
some extra eyes
มันรู้
under tube.
มันรู้เลย
Storm goes up. Mako now
None
not
yet.
going to be ready for this forward
Oh.
position. Australia though instantaneous with the response.
Liêu
Now because
chang.
of this preset position, Bane able to go ahead and get a deep lockdown, but the Hunter's Fury comes through, so Cruz can clear that out. Space can now be disrespected here by Talon as Primi. Through the smoke, able to find 1. Bane going to be taken down. A 3v4 here for DRX. They try to close
ไม่
this
ให้วาง
out.
ครับ
With Armageddon coming in over the top here from Killua, but they will
Non.
be able to escape the
Non.
blast zone.
อุ้ยตันดีจัด
Into the corner, the drop down. Primi looking for the double, cannot make it happen. It's all on
เฮีย
Hypman.
ตันโคตรแจ่ม
Only find one. Still damage dealt here, but it's going to be Talon coming away with a third round victory.
This
Yes,
time
Oma.
Marco not able to do any damage up the guts of mid, unfortunately, for DRX, and with enough ultimates online for Talon as
ซ้อมมา
well.
เลยอะ
Get a little
แบบลง
bit
แหล่ง
hot under the collar for the DRX members as they're trying to establish a plant. And I gotta say for Talon, the rotations for all of the members essentially to just
เฮ้ย
focus towards
ไอ้เหี้ย
B,
B5
recognize that there's just a
แบบยิงแล้วจะไปอะ
happening and then
เสือกโดน
already
เพราะด้วยตัวมันถือบอมปะเนี่ย
when the plant goes down, it does become a bit of a scrap battle to try and get a lot of the trades there, but Talon were already just holding the numbers game.
Talon still with an opportunity to rescue this half, now finding a bit
Wow,
more
man,
stability.
PK,
Still
I'm
these
real
half
done.
armors in the mix here for a lot of the players.
But a bit of a swing scenario for DRX too here. They have to be pretty careful with
มันน่าจะถือบอมไปหมดเลย
holding
ว่าต้อง
advantages,
ไป
holding weaponry.
The Reckoning goes out. Should just be instant salvos from Kahlua to try to go ahead and slow things up. Oh, that is a slippery little stealth
อยู่
drone.
4ครับ 3
If nothing else, got him to waste pretty much an entire mag.
Reckoning out.
Reckoning to come through.
Cool.
Shit boys pushing forward.
วัด
playing
เลย วัด
aggressively.
เลย
He's able to find one, and Primi
วัด
comes
ดู
away
ยู
with a
มีน
second. Just Kahlua traded out.
โอ้โห
It's a massive trade
พิ
up
มพ์
here for the side
พิ
of
มพ์
Talon.
พิมพ์
Stun connect.
เฮ้ย
but
แล้วเอา
yeah,
ทำมิ่ง
that's
ดีจัด
already the Reckoning
อย่า
expired.
บอกนะ
Mako
แม่ง
on
เช็
the
คขวา
hunt, but
เอาดิไม่เจอมา
not
ดิสัตว์
suspicious enough.
เอา
Cruz
โดน
as
ล้อม
well
ไปหมดแล้ว
in a forward spot. It's gonna be Bane with a hell of a headshot.
โอ้
Anything else either.
เยี่ยวดีว่า
Immediately
เย้
turns things upside down, doesn't it, right now? From a 4 versus 3 into the favor of DRX. You've already got the sight scoped out a little bit as I say that. But Marco gets Primi, and now it's all on to Jit Boys, and we're talking about the economic situation. Do you consider a save here to make sure that everybody has weapons in the next round? I mean, Primi doesn't have blades available to back up his 100 credits.
It's a tough call, but it seems like they want Jit Boys to try to go for this. A couple players on the side of DRX similarly don't have that much money behind. We'll be able to find one, clear the nano, but Mako back yellow. Jit Boys just having no clue whatsoever where they had scattered to. The two surviving on the side of DRX, they will get up now 8-3.
And this is where it becomes a little bit more problematic for the Talon fans out there. If anyone's on the superstitious mark, you definitely want them to be finding this next one to not get that 9-3 curse happening. Or maybe you do want that to be more in the favor of Talon, right? So DRX, we'll see how they're going to navigate this next round after having the flank, I guess maybe expected again, because Talon have been doing that a lot in this map so far.
Oh,
In fact,
Killua-
they've just able to
Killua-
mop them both up.
เล่นแรงเยอะไปหน่อยมั้งคิดว่าช่วงนี้
Now in the last round of
ไม่
this
ค่อยมาหลายวันแล้วนะเราอะ
back to the A site to begin.
Well, Primi's position going to be confirmed once again. Drops
เฮ้ย
down.
เฮ้ยพิมพ์
Some
ฝืนจัด
damage.
อุ้ย
Oh,
เฮ้ยเอาทุกเวเลยไง
every which way. Put the 45, but still breathing. Damage can still be dealt here by his hand. But if he dies in a forward spot, that means no one's picking up that Guardian.
Yeah. Salvo's out with
Oh,
the
hey,
stealth
hey,
drone.
hey, 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 hey.
One, but how many players is it going to be able to spot out?
เอาแล้ว
Two towards Maze.
เอาแล้วเป็นไร
Balls coming through, stun at pipes. DRX just holding the brakes. Mako trying to see what kind of pressure comes out of B here before they really execute onto the site, it would seem.
Lots of utility exchanges at the moment.
Salvo's going through, being able to find one, and Gunman just crouching in underneath.
ไม่
Jit
ไม่
Boys
ได้ได้
taking
ไงวะ
down
จิต
now
เขานั่ง
Primi
ให้มึง
with 45.
เสิร์ฟคมๆเลย
Backed
นะ
up by Cruz, who only has a stinger.
ตัวเราโดนเสิร์ฟรัวๆ
Floor. Instantaneous headshot from Primi, still on point in that regard, but it's now just die, and he has been noted. Mako looking to keep him held down here in mid, and he cannot fight his way out. Mako wins those, and that's going to be a 9-3 half with DRX well out in front.
And there's not too much ingenuity from DRX, to be honest with you as well, right? It's just kind of readable plays from an outside view. Start off with a bit of this utility at A as well, right?
for sure.
Like, it's
ไอ้
their
พวก
map
มันต้อง
pick,
เปลี่ยน
you
ชื่อ
go
แล้ว
into
ว่ะ
Fraction X,
เอาจ
which,
ริงป่ะ
I mean, that's still rocky anyways. But you definitely
เป็น
want
กู
to
เปลี่ยน
come
นะ
away with your own map pick
มวยไทย
when
อะ
you've had it open, you've gone in with the choice, and you're expecting some sort of confidence on your own defensive side.
โอ้โหไอ้เหี้ย
plans
ไอ้เหี้ย
on your
Lucky Boy
attacking
แรงไป
sides. We'll see if that's going to at least come out here in the pistol round. Everybody looking to go towards this B site nice and early from
ปาก
Talon.
ไม่มีหู
Everybody
รูด
investing with an upgraded
ฮีโร่
pistol
มึง
as
จัดการมันดิ
well.
อะมึงโชว์ภูมิที่มึงมีหน่อยดิ
Just a
Bye.
full send, steady push forward here from Talon. Recon sent out. Mako caught on timing. Turns around, Clue it
สวย
right
หล
there.
บ
Hello.
เอ
Takes
อ
him
เออ
down.
นั่นแหละนั่นแหละ
I thought it was a straight bullet. It was a
It
straight salvo. His Brimmy will fall. Freeing, doing well to find one, but Straya just getting absolutely
เกมไม่เหมือนมือ
melted
สัง
out
หารเลย
through
ว่ะ
the walls. And this is the thing when you got two Vipers and then you get a Harbor into the mix as well. You can't
เฮ้ย
see a damn
โอ้ย
thing.
สวยโอ้ย
Finds hit the floor though, and it will
เฮีย
be
เมื่อกี้ถ้า
Talon
จิต
time.
แพ้นะ
Comes
กู
away
บอก
with
เลย
three
แพ้แล้ว
kills.
เกมเนี้ย
Talon will go ahead and tie it up in pistols.
I mean, I'm talking about a scrappy second map. Let's just bring it back to what we've got in front of our eyes right now. A scrappy pistol round to come on through where there's just wall-on-wall action and everyone's just trying to shoot through it and deny all action. There's like hot potatoing between maybe 3 members of the Talon side. But at least they do manage to navigate their shots a little bit better towards the end to finish it off after the awkward one that we're seeing on the other receiving end of Jit Boy's one there. So pistol round collected from Talon. Not going to see too much investment here for DRX. You'll play it for what it is, just the pistols. Get your guns in the next round.
อุ้ยแล้วไม่เอ้ยมันบินมาเหรอ
Really getting
มัน
that pit online as well quickly here for Thai could be very good for the post plants.
นั่นไงแล้วไม่รู้ด้วยไอ้เหี้ย
Over
แม่
the top,
ง
able to
แม่ง
find
เนียน
one.
กึบเลยอะ
Classic just puts down Jit Boys.
Not able to retrieve any upgrades.
ดีนะ
though.
ไอเวนนี่
Consider
ตัว
the
แยก
pistol
เป็น
the
แค่
upgrade
โกด
there.
ใช่ปะเฮ้ยอย่าแยกกันอีก
Gonna be the lean
เฮ้ย
now
ไม่
for
ก็ตั้ง
Talon.
โรเทตกลับทีมรอเฮียเลยอะ
Still though, unless they start
Chip
committing to the
bye,
plant,
chip bye,
Cruz
chip
is getting
bye.
into a deeper position. Tap has been heard,
Gap,
bite
gap,
delays. Everyone from DRX here, and
อ่ะ
now
แย
the
กปืน
call.
พกแยก
Go
กัน
ahead
อีก
and
อะ
swing back
เอ
across
อ
towards
อย่าง
the
นี้
A
แหละ
site has
เอ
been
อแค่นั้นแหละ
sounded here from the side of Talon.
Yep, Cruz just doing what Bane was trying to do on the attacking side as well. Play the lurk roll,
ถ้าเมื่อกี้
find
ฝื
the
นเล่น
timing,
ต่อหรื
see
อ
how
วา
far
งหรือ
forward
อะไร
you
นะ
want to go by
บอกเลยมันจบ
yourself.
แล้ว
I
เกม
mean,
เนี้ย
very different
โดนกระทืบ
situation up against the pistols as opposed to rifles. So he's just going to slot himself in nice and deep.
เอ้ยเป็นระแวงใครไม่ได้ลึก
Fantastic
ขนา
spot
ด
as
นั้น
well.
เพื่อน
You're on the rafter with that stinger. Anybody pushing forward towards the screen
สวย
side.
ทีมรีคอนดีฮะ
Likely to fall, but looks like Cruz not wanting to potentially overgreed here on his position. Backs away. There's a spot out on the one. Straya taken down.
ตาย
Just weaponry retainment here for Talon.
แม่งเจอมวยตายไอ้สัตว์
Well, Bane does have that sheriff. Finds
อย่า
Kalua.
อย่าตายยากๆออกมาพ้นแผนเออ
Sent, not connecting. Primi still here.
Hey,
Top of the
gap,
court, now
gap. Hey.
spotted. Hyunmin playing off the back. Oh boy, now suddenly we have to pump the brake.
ครึ่งแล้วพี่ชายใหญ่
A third finds it here in
ใน
the
เจล
round.
แล้วไง
Getting overwhelmed and
เอ้ย
Cruz, last one standing.
อะไรอ่ะแล้วมีควันมาโกยแกะ
Still some time here. Draws out.
โอ้ราหลอนคุย
And DRX
GG.
pull off the thrifty, denying the anti-eco, and this is a Shakespearean
fuck?
tragedy.
It's a blunder. That's what it is, mate. That is a round that should not go DRX's way. I mean, the first shot that comes out from them, you're catching, against the pistols of Jit Boys, right? But the rest of them, I mean, you're looking at a scenario where you've got a plant down, you've got some post-plant utility in the salvos, in the shock darts, but playing these forward lines, having some belated crossfires.
ทำไมไม่
I
หลอกเข้ามาที่
personally
บอม
thought
วะ
Thai
เขา
was
ปืน
going
พ
to
ก
be
นะ
able
เว้ย
to triple
ปืน
down
เรา
there
ได้
and
เปรียบนะ
maybe
โอ้
bring
แบ
something
บ
back
อิ่
towards
มๆเลยอ่ะ
Talon and
แม่ง
maybe
เลื
win
อก
another
ตัด
round.
กัน
But
โอ้
no, DRX are out shooting today.
Wherefore art thou
รถแพทย์ในทีม
throwing?
ก็มี
Oh boy.
เลือกตัด
See what Jit Boys might be able to do here with the Guardian. Apart from that, just the pistols for the force of
แต่ว่า
Talon
ไอ้
here,
กล้องมัน
who
โดน
again
เว้ย
creeping up towards this
ไอ้
A
ที่นั่น
side
ยิงแม่น
of
เลย
things. Going to start to scope out the situation.
ไม่เห็นมันยิงเหรอ
Nothing off the stealth drone.
I mean, we've seen stranger things. You've got two sheriffs here for the side of Talon. We could just get those thrifties into thrifties, the old Gen G special.
Waiting for the high tide to fall on down. But Australia going to start things off.
Close angle, multiplayer
Oh.
spotted. What
ไอ้
is
เหี้ย
that?
กำลังจะลงอยู่แล้วครับ
Oh, that
ยัง
is
มินเกี่ยวไปต่อ
insane as-
หมด
So is okay. We've gone from Shakespeare to absurdity.
Yeah.
ให้เขาไปให้เขา
Primi
ไป
will be able to go ahead and find one as Hyunmin falls, but good God.
Just seen more kills through walls without any vision on your
Hey,
opponents in
how
these
about
last
you?
few rounds than we have with actual vision.
เขาดีแบบ
Well, up and over the top, the spot onto Estrella, but Estrella with the better weapon. 3K here for him, one away from that reckoning to be
เล่นได้ดี
online.
จริงเว้ยนั่นแหละเว้ย
As DRX one away from having map point.
ขาประ
Yeah,
จำเลย
you're
ด่าน
going to see
เนี้ย
Talon
ที่
start
ร
to
อบที่แล้วก็
activate
แย
in a
ก
situation like this as well,
Never
right? If
done.
they drop that, well, it's going to be 8 map points coming in towards this map of their own choosing, and maybe we have a scenario where they have to just be like Paper X of yesterday, where you wipe off map 1, you ignore it, and you look for a bit of a reverse sweep affair. Starting to get a lot closer to these ultimates as well for Talon at the moment with Tier 1 off the Viper's pit. Meanwhile, on the flip side, no ultimates online, but an operator out for Hyunmin.
ถ้าตามเคิร์ดวันนี้เราต้องแพ้ใช่ป่ะ
Over towards the A side of the map.
Surprisingly, first op bet we've had of this map.
ที่เขา
Talon's not
เขียว
able
แดงเขียวแดง
to really ever get into a position to comfortably bring one in when they were on the defense.
นั่นไง
We'll see how comfortable they're going to be able to get in towards this B site and knock at the door of DRX, if at all. No one moving too far forward on the map. Again, that operator just poised over at A, and you've got Belt being looked after by freeing 2, where Talon, without proceeding too hard towards the B site, do you put a little bit more stock in what Jitboys is going to be able to sniff out towards A, or do you still really just try to bully this B area?
Straya spotting out plenty there. Sets up the wall, allows him to escape from back yellow, rotates around, sets up the other wall.
Always one of the valuable things of having the double wall comp on this map. Lots of stall ability, but there goes Jitboys.
Okay. Jitboys able to find Bane there under tube.
เฮ้ยทีมเดี๋ยวภาพเดิมหรอกถือธนูเนี่ย
Oh, the
Oh,
reveal.
whoa!
But it's Straya. This man is Daredevil. If you can't see it, you're dead. Either way, salvos are there in reply. Comes away with that one. The op just a hair too late to try to find a catch, and now it's going to be Hyunmin in a bit of a rough position.
Oh, they're not looking for Marco, not really.
Oh, they turn back, but he's still able to find
เฮ้ย
one.
มาโกะอะไรเนี่ย
22 HP remaining. Mako repeats it, finds the second, and Hyunmin swaps over
แพ้แล้ว
to the Phantom,
Makoยิงอย่างเงี้ย
cleans up thigh, and that is DRX now at 12-4.
And you would assume that that might be the nail in the coffin for this map as well. That was the real big buyout for Talon. Though they will still manage to come out with a buyout in this round that they've mainly been presented with in this map. Light shields behind rifles. Got a couple of ults to come in towards this next round as well, with one already being picked up. But I gotta say, the trade game when DRX are shooting in that one, then it's a straight up Marco, low HP. Finds the double. 12-4. See what we'll have presented to us by Talon in this one.
Off force off the angle. And Min tucking back. Drone spots and confirms. Dash at the ready. Quick little reposition here. Gets himself situated more towards back sight. Rope is heard. Estrella trying to play close. Ooh, shoulder to shoulder, but Jitboys gets the better of it. Gets a jump there, but Knight is going to be ground into a fine pace. As is Kalua. How is Bane coming away with 2 kills on Nanos?
Ridiculous.
ลิดิคิลัส
Spike planted, but Hyunmin just gets out onto the wider angle. Jitboys shut down. Knives now pulled as he's just bounding around the site. He's got Bane here, right there with him. Gets a 3K. And this is now an unwinnable position. Everything in the kitchen sink thrown at him. 13-4. DRX looking very well prepared here for Talon's pick of Icebox.
Yeah, I mean, we saw a little bit of a disrespect before the map started, but DRX can answer back with that, right? 13-4, that's a pretty disrespectful scoreline. We don't care what you're trying to shake up in our mental state before this one.
Cypher is the one to watch. He's going to be the one who needs to shake down for me.
Well, I think we're getting ready to get started.
เฮ้ยมึงกูบอกว่ามึงกดได้ไง
Something a little bit different on the counter.
Oh, absolutely. Look, we've taken Paper Thin. He's turned 40. We've taken him out the back. See you later. And we've replaced him with someone younger. So we'll throw it over to Kilios and Komodo.
Thank you. Thank you for doubling back to get that correct. But yeah, you're right. Paper Thin Glue Factory. It's over. Komodo, my new duo. As we will go into map number 2 for anybody who was wondering where the bald man is. He's in Shanghai. He's doing another esport.
He's betrayed us.
We didn't know that those
ปกติ
existed.
นี่ด้านนี้
Thought it was just League of Legends
เว
in
เล
this
อะ
one. But
Yeah, which somehow made
แล้วแม่
its
ง
way
เจอ
into this
ตัวคนไทย
broadcast in the
พลัง
in the
คนไทย
half-time shenanigans, but
he's
แล้ว
not
ก็
doing
ม
like
วย
he doesn't-
ตาย
Doesn't have
Yeah.
the brain for it. But he barely has the brain for this one. Anyway, we'll
Let's
stop
go.
talking about Paper Thin and we'll start talking about the game. As DRX looking for a bit of a trap play here on the south side. Reinforcements being called over. Is it just going to be a tuck behind the
อุ้ย
box?
ตาย
And the Stray
อุ้ยทีเด็ด
taken down.
ทีเด็ดคนไทยครับ
Sprung right back over onto DRX. Nice little setup there. Good counteraction. Talon find the opening kill.
Gotta remember though, if you want to contest with DRX on this B side, it is always Bane's territory. Keep an eye on what he's going to be doing around tower specifically.
โหเฮียโกะด่านนี้แม่ง
See
โห
if
ด
that's
ด้วย
gonna come
บีม
into
สโตนมัน
effect
นี่
as
ของจริง
well.
เลย
With player advantage and Australia
เฮีย
going
มึง
down.
ครึ่งเลยเอาเฮีย
So
ไม่
with
เปิ
the
ดประตู
idea of coming back towards this A
Hold
side,
man.
and if it
Sắp
is
tới.
the right
สตรี
read
ม
here,
แม่งยืนอยู่ข้างบนแม่งปาสตรีมเปิดประตู
DRX, they will have 3 members
Là
that
cái gì? Đây
can
đừng.
defend.
โหดจริง
Swing
Yeah,
on
well,
the relay
yeah.
pole. Just
Yeah.
tiny damage there on a Cruz. Freeing. Flies to it, swings over the door. Finds Juan Hyunmin coming away with a second. Does eventually get taken down. Drop going to be noted and heard here. And Mako catching a glimpse of the gun. He's able to find the head of Jit Boys.
Yeah, there was
Player advantage now in a big
โห
way.
ยากว่ะ
there was a
จะซัด
trap
ตะ
wire
โก
up at
ชั่วโมง
the
เนี้ย
dish as well, so they did know someone was coming from there.
ดูดิดูดิ
Mako now just going to be sat here. Backside
ดูกูเล่น
underneath.
ดิรอเพื่อน
Safe
คอร์สไฟ
behind the
โอ้โห
wall.
ทีเด็ดครับ ทีเด็ดยายนง
Try to cut
เพื่อนระวัง
across
ที
in
ที
towards
ด้วย
spawn. Looks like the answer is
รู้
yes,
รู้
but Bane is there and he's noted it as well. Now they're flushed
เวลา
back
หม
in.
ด
The time is just not going to be
แล้วโด
there.
นคอร์ส
12
ไฟ
seconds
อยู่
remaining.
คอร์สไฟโอ้
Instant headshot found. Down to the last
ดี
7.
ไม่เป็นไรมันเอา
Freeing
ตัวเจ็บไปเว้ย
closest member. Now just goes for the delay, and it
ไม่ไหว
is
แล้วว่ะ
over.
แพ้
Plant cannot be
อ๋อ
found. Freeing will lose his life. Ty will come away with another 3K here in a pistol. Get the plant for a little bit of extra cash, but DRX will go ahead and take this opening round for themselves.
Yeah, a bit of a unfortunate one for Talon though, right? When you consider they got the opening kill, and then it's the hold in main from old mate Hyunmin as well as Freeing, trying to just dance around and get the kills. But good, just level-headedness from DRX. The right read to come back towards this A site, the right utility placed as well at the right time, getting all the info off the trap wire drop as I
นิ่ง
mentioned.
ซะด้วยดิ
Great timing
ตัวนี้
salvos
มา
to
โกะ
deny things. Might have to see
ท็อ
Talon
ป
be
แบ
a
ก
little
แน่
bit
นอน
more
100%มาโกะ
decisive with time. Of course, it
ตัว
was a
นี้
bit of a blunder over on Icebox as
Brimstone
well
แบบ
when
นี้
things get quite low.
สแปมแม่นๆเหมือนซ้อมมา
DRX, but secondary round here.
บอมบีของเขา
Scoping things out. Freeing on the drone, going to be noting where Jit Boy's lurk is going to be.
Scaling forward, looking for that cipher here. Couple shots out. Cruz able to avoid getting tapped. Is Freeing almost getting timinged, but now Jit Boy's needing to backpedal frantically and get some damage in, but cannot find much more than that. Cam going to be spotting out multiple players. Bane just going to be sat here in tower as he often is. This is his spot.
เรียบร้อย
There's Cruz
หวานๆเลย
not ready for anybody to
โก
be
บอ
there.
กหวานๆเลยเข้ามาอย่างเงี้ย
5 versus
กูแข่งกู
3
อยากได้ช็อตแบบนี้เยอะๆว่ะ
angle for DRX.
ถ้ากูแข่ง
Just try and hold what you can, come in
ช็อต
towards
หวาน
the
ๆน่ะ
next round at the moment. Maybe deny a plant if possible as well. As Talon will pick up an ulti orb on die. He will be 1 away, so with death, an orbital strike into the bonus.
Death or plant. We'll see which one it's going
อยาก
to
เห็น
be.
ตอนจบแล้วว่ะเฮียแม่งจับ
DRX
มือ
now
ว่ะ
very much understanding
อย่า
where
จับ
they're
นะ
going to
ฟ
be
อส
looking to go.
มาขนาดนี้แล้วเฮีย
It's going to be a quick little rewind there from Premi. Snaps back over
ต้องเร็ว
towards
ต้องเร็วที่สุดเว้ย
that drop position. Freeing running out of
ไม่
bullets.
เร็วเว้ย
Will end up falling. It's going to be
ไม่
the
ให้
one
เกรด
casualty
ไม่ให้
here.
เกรดเราก่อน
As the Spectre will
หมาย
get
ถึงว่าประดุง
scooped
ความ
up.
ยุติธรรมประดุงความยุติธรรมที่สุด
DRX turns off
แม่ง
2-0.
แม่ง
And this is the
ถ้าเป็นอย่างที่แชท
situation
บอก
for
นะ
Talon as well, right?
แต่มัน
Coming
ต้อง
in
มีอยู่แล้ว
towards
ล่ะ
this map,
ไม่งั้น
maybe an
ฟอ
expected
นไม่
pick
ทำอ
to
ย่างนั้
come
น
through from DRX, but maybe not with the scrappy affair that we've seen from them so far in the group stage and the course of their play this year for this map. A lot of very close ones going, 13-11, some overtimes. It's not been the most confident map for them, but for Talon, the installments that we've seen with the Waylay at least, some pretty decisive results despite Primi, not having the greatest showing in one of them, but still getting the job done.
Hyunmin is just rushing forward here. Still throwing the check onto the opposite side. Salvo's set and ready for Cruz. But here comes the push. He's just stuck on the iPad. Does get taken down, and DRX likely going to be more than satisfied with that pick.
ทีมเป็น
They go
คนบอก
backpedaling,
เองไม่
riding
ใช่
the
เหร
rope
อ
now.
โดนในควัน
Is
เขาไม่
Jit
ทำ
Boys
กันแล้วไม่ใช่
Bane
เหรอ
with that stinger. Go
แล้ว
ahead
ทีม
and
ไป
find a
ทำอะไร
kill.
ในควัน
One pushing up in towards A main though, able to find Estrella here in Halls.
ทีม
A real solid opening they have for the moment. Freeing just where it goes to try to hold the door. Does get the smoke off and looks to reposition. Oh, dash forward. Is a little jump back, but still
ไม่รู้ว่า
able
อยู่
to
ข้างใน
trade
ตัวหนึง
for another. Kahlua now on the floor. The Molly here just in front of their feet.
Hyunmin
They've got Mako from drop as well.
slipped into the right spot though.
And he absolutely has. Primi still doing well to find the kill. Smoke dissipating, put
เอา
some
ปะล่ะ
damage down,
เอาปะ
but
เอาปะล่ะ
exchanged back.
ไอโกะบอกเลยตัวเนี้ยไหว
Now arriving with a weapon upgrade. Primi tapping, just trying to see if he can suss out where this cipher is going to be coming from. It's going to be even more damage taken.
โอ้
Well, Bane will find it.
แย่แล้ววะ
Second one for him. And a bonus converted. 3-0 start here for DRX.
แย่แล้วไหลอีกแล้ว
Saw a very nice ace from Buzz yesterday on the Neon, just really dipping and diving around with the lightning fingers as well. So I do always like to see a great little Neon play to come on out. Talon, though, in this round, not able to bring any stability, not able to get on top of the trades. Again, a lot of great timing of utility components from DRX around the map, too. Never going to be able to contend with Bane in tower. Feels like the orbital strike, if you want to try and find him, is going to have to be the investment to remove him from that spot. But in a pistol round such as this for Talon, probably not going to see that utilized unless there's already an advantage or a post-plant scenario potentially.
ถ้าเป็นเรื่องจริง
ถ้าเป็นเรื่องจริงใช่มันไม่เกี่ยวกับแพ้ชนะเว้ยสิ่งที่ DRX ทำมันไม่ควร
Down to 14. As Mako getting the spot out, swings, and is eventually able to snap onto
กูกากกว่าใช่ว่าจะยอมให้คนอื่นมาหยามเกียรติเว้ย
Mako
แม่
just coming away.
เกียรติไม่เรื่องเก่งกากว่ะนั้นเนี่ย
And we start off the round tag down.
ยศด็อกเตอร์มาพูดจาดูถูกกูตบให้ด้วยไอ้สัตว์
Look to go 4-0 in flawless fashion.
ให้เห็นภาพ
Gentlemen just steadily swinging forward.
ยิ่งแก่ๆนี่ชอบเลยที่พูดถึงลิซ่าน่ะ
I believe maybe it wasn't going to be a flawless.
เม่งแม่งทัก
First
ที
shot
ไง
sailing
เหี้ย
right over his head, but is able to go ahead and get the readjust.
And again, like I highlighted a bit earlier, right? 4-0 was the time for Talon that they needed to recognize what's happening on things, right? To call something, call a timeout potentially, and start to get back in the map. Highlighted very effectively on Ascent yesterday for them. So we'll see if that might be ringing true again here. Otherwise, from what we saw on Icebox, I mean, things will maybe go one back in their way, and then it just looks even rockier, right? So this is the time for them that they really need to start to achieve some opening duels, achieve some trades at least. Just look a little bit more decisive.
กำลังแย่ครับรีบเข้ามากู้
I like the adjustment from DRX, pushing up towards the north side.
Stealth drone not getting the spot out here. Mako just tucked in behind the boxes. Tripwire spotted, cleared. It's just going to be a backpedal as Armageddon does get sent. That's from Freeing. Expecting that there was still going to be some pressure coming through from that arcade side, but as you can tell, no one was there to receive that damage.
And Marco's just used the incendiary by the way as well, so that was some more stalling power that DRX had up their sleeve for the tree choke point, but now sub 1 minute will tick on over, and Talon's going to pivot towards this A site.
นั่นแหละครับสำหรับที่ใครไม่ทันน่ะฟอสไปกินปิ้งย่างกับเทอร์มิแล้วฟอสสั่งคาบีฟมาแต่เทอร์มิเอาไปย่างเลยมีเครื่องกัน
Reinforcing that A site here from DRX. The exec getting ready to come through. As stun, connecting Bane, just backpedaling orbital strike to try to flush him back into the spawn, but Mako still going to get caught. Bane still stunned up now, out into the open.
เอาแล้วมีทรง
One by one.
มีทรง
Talon will pick them apart as Cruz is able to find a little bit more. 3K for him.
มีทรงเฉยเลยมีแผนมีสตันมีอะไรอย่างเงี้ยนี่แหละไม่ค่อยได้เห็นไอ้เหี้ย
Talked about decisiveness, right? That's something that we need to see from
มีสตันมีเดินเข้าไปยิง
Better crosshair placement in that
แม่ง
round.
เจอแต่โดนเขายิง
Not the position that I thought that they would do it, but when you combine it
เนี่ยมันอย่างนี้แหละ
it's always going to work. A treat. You got Salvos behind it as well. I mean, you're pretty much not escaping in that sort of thing. Good confidence from Cruz as well.
กระสุนลาวหน้าไม่ต้องรีให้นะเหลือเยอะ
Importantly, right, the 4-0 mark. There's one on the board for Talon now.
ขอแม็กเดียว
As we see Hyunmin bringing out the operator. I'm going to see no one home in the position that he is placing that out, but at least confirmed in the map now with the destruction of the camera.
Stealth drone to Han. Maybe at least one spotted him, shit boys.
เอาดิมันตายหนึ่งเอาดิ
Knocked out of the park. Hell of a shot. Operator now lost.
ใช่อีกรอจ่ายนะเดี๋ยวมีโดนนะโดนหน่อยโดน
Hope ensure that they can close out this round.
ตายหนึ่ง
Spot on the one though. Thai will still
กว่าจะได้โดน
getting that hit. There's a swing in, and Klua can't quite
ไอ้
set
รัว
Straight up there, recovering fire, able to find it, but great distraction play.
น้องชายปะเนี่ย
That goes diving forward. That allows them
กลับ
to
ไหม
find the
ฟูเซน
punch.
ไหม
Ship Boys, however, trying to hold things down on that arcade side.
เฮียนี่ท็อปแฟกแน่
The way side kill found. Spike now dropped, and in Mako's grasp.
ดูดิ
Yeah, a bit of a difficult situation to be picking that one up from as well.
You've got salvos. I mean, Cruz is a full kit.
แม่งได้หมดแม่งมากี่ตัวแม่งเอาหมด
Absolutely nothing.
ฟิกซ้ายคม
Just kind of needs to hit the shot, and he's able to do so. Ultimate now online.
Oh, but the push up from Cruz. Maybe unexpected for Bane here.
อุลทีมไหลดีจัด
Timing though,
เดินดีฮะไหลเลยถ้าจะไหลเลยอุ้ยอันติเลยสวยให้งี้สวยดิเฮ้ยการอะไรก็เสีย
Nicely done here from the side of
อย่างนี้
Talon.
ได้คุย
Get themselves a second round win.
Yeah, great spotting from
อย่างนี้
Premi
ได้
as
อย่างนี้
well.
ได้
I mean, just recognizing in the middle of the round what he needs to do on the waylay as well, right? As you mentioned, being the distractor. Unfortunate for DRX, the opening scenario too. An operator on that sort of line you usually like to see, or generally are getting a bit of an opening kill
ไอ้ฟียิง
statement
โดนเลย
there. A lot of backwards and forwards ability in
I
this
think
sort
you
of
are
round,
right.
so you're just needing to see these teams adjust really well, but it kind of, opened up on that B
Lim
side by
swear.
Premi, and it's closed by
Lim swear.
Premi as well. Convergent pass, I mean, a bit of an expensive ultimate to be throwing in, but you do get it resulting in a round of victory, and you also bring out a timeout from
บอก
DRX.
ขี้รัวมา
There's
ลูก
gonna
แป้ง
be
จะไปแทน
a bit of a breath of relief here
Yeah.
for the side of Talon. Granted, DRX, yes, still in with an advantage, but
มีขี้รัวอยู่
economy
หน้าดี
getting
ละ
whittled away at here with these last 2 rounds. First 2 consecutive round wins that Talon's been able to get in this series. They had none on Icebox.
Yeah.
So I think DRX is going to be very well aware of how streaky this team can be when they start getting that read, when Cruz starts having an understanding of your tendencies.
Yep.
So wants to try to throw a spanner into the works here.
And something that we haven't seen from Talon so far when running the waylay on this map that we have seen from them and from some teams in China as well who are running a similar sort of comp is getting the spike on the waylay to dash on in, get the plant, dash on out, and you're playing a lot of post, right? You're doing that from
หรื
dish,
อ
you're
ว่า
trying to drop
ที่เรา
a
โด
lot
น
of that
เนี่ย
utility to just
เพราะ
deny
ว่า
the spike from being
เรื่องแชร์แผน
defused.
แล้ววะ
We've not really
ทำ
seen
ให้ฟอนต์
anything
ไม่
like
ต้องเปลี่ยน
that
แผ
come out
น
from
ใหม่
Talon
แผน
too
ใช้ไม่ได้
quickly
ก
just
ลัว
yet. So I'm kind of waiting for that
แผน
sort of scenario to see how
ช่วย
prepared
ฟอร์ตเต็ม
DRX
ที่นะ
would be and how adjusted they would
ช่วย
be.
เต็มที่นะ
Back to normal fracture things you'd say though with the
สมมติแผน 1-5 ซ้อมมาโดนแชร์
try and be gathering it, but
Pardon.
I don't think
Chad
Premi
said-
got much information.
No.
Scott is fully blinded up.
เออเพื่อนมีอะไร
Has to get out of there.
you do kind of waste
Huh?
the ultimate though if Hyunmin hit.
ไม่แป๊บนึงนะแป๊บ
Yeah,
เพื่อนมี
that
อะไร
is very
แป๊บนึง
true. The overdrive did get popped in
Medai.
response, and we'll just be
Yep.
waited out. So Talon just
Pimo.
more than happy to stay tucked here outside of halls.
Yeah, big reset on towards the round essentially for DRX, where you're investing that ult as the kind of instigator to gaining advantages, getting kills, siphoning weapons.
Rolling Thunder going to be sent astray his way. Does get the hit. Fast lane in response to stop the really aggressive scaling up through main.
I'm wondering what Jitboys is going to be able to do on this lurk, by the way, too. Bane still, of course, in the tower with 2 trap wires positioned to the arcade side of things.
On both sides. Cruz, though, now getting in position for this flank, or maybe even just the pivot call to shift back across to A if he can clear it out. Jitboys tagged very low. Now going to be stunned up.
Oh, do you see him?
They haven't quite noticed him until this very moment. Walks straight into his sting, and Estrella is there. Finds the kill. In the meantime, though, the rest of Talon working their way across to A, getting ready for the plant.
Yeah, an open sight, and remember, it is a lesser buy for DRX here, too. So, planning for main.
They have a Bucky on Bane. He's now rotating around and about to make contact here, against Thai, and I don't think he's going to be able to find too much value there. Thai just going to stay tucked. Drifting across.
Oh, you say that.
Never mind. Just draws out
กูทำงานอยู่เพื่อน
classic, and he's right as rain.
ก็ให้พวกมัน
I
ทำ
think
หน้า
it's
ที่ไป
down. Weapon now recovered. Either way, decent damage being dealt here from the side of the DRX. They're looking for another thrifty. Cruz from this defender's side, able to find one. Estrella comes away with another. Now a 2-1, and they know Cruz's position. The salvos have to be baited out. It's going to be a hold to half Estrella, giving his life. Trying to make this clutchable here for Mako. Just needs to never really find and will not be able to do so. The back away, Cruz gets out. It's a Red Bull clutch as Talon will go ahead and pick up a third, not allowing for that thrifty to come through.
One of the more awkward clutches to come on out in that scenario with both players where missing all their ammunition and having a couple reload. Yeah, you're always going to give a bit of a valiant attempt to sticking it through the salvos there to try and get it halved to give Marco an opportunity in that sort of situation. But damage really done by Cruz, by Premi, to try and bring some sort of stability and then allow Cruz to come out with a clutch at the end by default.
You get a little bit silly.
But now Talon knocking on the door of DRX, 3 in a row. Full gun rounds to be presented. Operator back in the hands of Hyunmin, though not going to be seeing too much for the time being over at Dish.
Spray across the Bane, just anticipating this.
แบบงง
Tries to really disguise Mako's position.
ได้คือได้
Finds even more. Kalua's now
อุ๊ย
down 4.
Oh, that's rough.
Jitboys in the same time.
อย่างนี้เสร็จนะ
It's scaled forward over towards drop. Call to pivot. Not been sounded quite just yet.
He is essentially just going to be sitting here, waiting to see if the team is eventually going to make their way through main.
ไม่เรื่องการยิงเมื่อกี้เหมือนยิงดึงๆครับยิงดึง
Duel, which Hyunmin
ยิง
just
ดึงๆ
aware of the situation.
ยิงดึงเวลาครับแบบแนบไม่เอาตายอะไรอย่างเงี้ย
For Talon in this one.
ไม่เอาตาย
Yellow up 4 HP.
เอาดึง
See the spray earlier, and just ultimately a 5 versus 3, where you've got a rolling thunder on Australia, and a more stacked B site here too.
Camera just over the top. Eyes should be right there in view.
Another sky smoke that kind of just locks you out here.
It's just keeping it quiet here for the moment. Fault line on main. Aftershock at the ready for the pinch from Arcade in towards the site.
เซฟเถอะเอ้า
Talon. Gonna be okay.
สวยคุ้มแล้วนะ
Gonna be happy.
คุ้มแล้วนะ
That they've gotten this out. They've already made the sound to call.
คุ้มแล้วนะ
DRX not
ไอ้นั่นรั่วเฉย
realizing wanting to ensure the round victory. Send up
ไอ้
the
นั่นทำอะไรวะ
rolling thunder and Talon just kind of get that ult out for free. DRX they win the round, yes, but now that's one critical retake tool that they don't have to worry about.
Yeah, not for a while, of course. You may see that be picked up again for Australia.
อยู่ๆพี่แกกดไม่มีเสียงติ๊กเสียงอะไรเลย
You could potentially see something a little bit quicker for Talon now come to these next sort of rounds. Get really early on a, quote-unquote lesser defended site when you consider how DRX have been playing. No 4-1 stacks, no complete stacks. So we will wait and see. I mean, I'm noting the positions just currently while we've got this one of what Talon are looking to set up. And by location, it actually does give me the vibe of them wanting to try and get into this A site real rapid.
สแปมพันสแปมควันถือเป็นส
Off
กิล
on the
เพย์
opposite side, peeking out towards tree. They're not rushing their way in quite just yet, but
เพราะกูก็ลองสแปม
applying
แล้วบาง
steady
ทีมันก็
pressure
ไม่
here
ค่อยจะ
from
โดน
both sides. Drone cleared out,
แบ
free.
บเบียวมาโกะอะไรอย่างเงี้ย
Bad spot here is
แต่ยิง
Tripwire
บ้างดิ
gets sent.
ไปเล่น
Fault line's gonna be exchanged, and yep, the pinch comes in. Free gonna be
มีแต่
taken
กระสุน
down.
ที่หมด
Headshot found there by
คิวไม่ขึ้นเลย
confirm that kill.
สวย
Marco now dead, and this quick hit here from Talon works a treat.
Yeah, a bit more silent in the very beginning of
กระ
it.
สุนหมดรีโหลด
allowing
แม่ง
the
โผล่มาเลย
utility main
ตาเอ๋
to bring attention to forces of Talon, but apart from that, quick in towards the site, quick plant goes down, 5 versus 2, save call forced for DRX. And in a hunt scenario like this, I mean, you look at the credits of Talon, it's not the worst thing to
ฉัน
try
อยาก
and
ลอง
remove
ส
the
กินงู
operator,
จั
for
ดเลย
example.
ลวก
Well, they know where it is.
But
ทีม
can
บอก
they
เจ
get
อ
Do
เจอ
you
เพื่อน
wanna
เจอ
take your chances?
เจอ
They've got enough money pretty much to last out.
อ้าวไม่เหมือนที่คุยนี่เจอแล้วนึกว่าจะล่า
Just heavy buys and catastrophe.
Yeah.
But
ทีมบอกงั้น
Talon
ไม่
would
ไป
be
หร
in
อก
a good enough spot, so could go for it. But if Primmy's not going to be able to find it, they're more than happy to not give over any additional kills here. So Talon, on their way back into this one, will find a 4th round win. DRX still set here at 5.
แมปบ้าน
Money to purchase, but
แมปบ้านนะ
it's that echoes of that rolling thunder
ทำไมถึง
coming
มอง
back
เป็น
to
แม
bite
ป
them
บ้าน
in
คารอน
the
ปะ
previous
เขา
round
เลือก
here.
ไอ้บล็อก
Yeah,
มานั่น
potentially
คารอน
so. You maybe see that one positioned onto the side itself or over towards Dish from Australia in that sort of situation. It's hitting 3 members and that's stopping any aggression towards the site. So that's the
เฮ้ย
different
เฮ้ย
sort
ดู
of
energy ดิ
position that they see
โอ้โห
themselves
ไอ้
in
เหี้
using
ย
in the previous round. But for the
อเมริ
new
กา
one,
โน่
of
ดิ
course, one away from Convergent Pass as Primi
ไอ้เหี้ยให้พวกมัน
should
หน่อย
be
ดิ
given that he's going to be
สัต
picking
ว์
that one up. So you might get to see something a little bit more fast-paced from Talon towards this B site. When they get it.
Again, off over at Arcade, on a spot, peeking down and towards main to really catch anything here.
Set up หน่อย
Main does get a
มีของมี
glimpse,
ทีเด็ดไหม
gives him an idea. What they're going to look to do is Primi inserts himself over in towards Canteen. Can re-trigger to go ahead and rewind back. And it's just going to be an exchange here on the side itself. Primi ignoring it. Lingers in spawn and Mako not prepared at all. DRX
ส
now
มน้ำหน้าเลยเหรอ
where they might
แม่ง
consider
เชี่ยแม่งนักเลงว่ะเวเลอะ
they can try to
อุ้ย
get out to a better
นี่เก่งกว่านี้ปะ
position.
ชัวร์เมื่อกี้มันพูด
Sending out another pod shot, rotates back, grabs a Vandal, wants to try to play this one out.
Has to find Cruz first.
Here on the close angle, the fast lane is available, and he's gonna almost get
เอา
time.
ทีมเอา
Seems like now that he knows where he's at,
โห
he
เล่น
might
เล่น
wanna
ชัวร์
try to
เกิ
play
น
this, but
เฮ้ย
it's a position from
วัด
Tommy.
แล้ว
Creeps up over towards that arcade side, so the call
เอา
to
ดู
save
ดี
the
มาแมปแรก
operator
นะ
will be made.
เป็นไง บ้านใครบ้านมันในสัตว์
Credits to try to spread out some more
อ้าว
firepower
พี่
here
ก็บ้านเขา
across the rest of
ไม่
the
เป็นไร
team. Talon now
ใช้
gonna
ไม่
be
ได้
tying
คำนี้
things up at 5-5.
Yeah, a couple of different options for Talon in a scenario like that one where you've got Primi one away from the ultimate. You could pick it up, use it onto the site, slow your opponents and try and get in that way, or change it up a little bit and be a little bit unorthodox, unexpected. Getting him in through Canteen there is something that definitely DRX did not expect whatsoever. You've got a lot of trades happening on the side itself, but Talon are winning.
ฉีกเป้าครับแล้วเพื่อนก็รอแทง
A couple of these, you
หา
know,
ข้าว
heavy
วาร์ป
rounds
กลับ
as well that they can weather should give a lot of these players some
ไปเล่นในแรงก็ยิ้มหวาน
confidence
นะ
coming into the last few rounds of this half on the attacking side too.
มันต้องหอนอย่างนั้นหน่อยเฮ้ย
Tying things up 5 apiece. Almost breaking
ยิ่งมี
the
แต่ลุง
economy
หอน
of
ไอ้สัต
DRX.
ว์
You need to see some
เด็ก
heroics
ๆนั่ง
from
เงียบ
Hyunmin or from Bane, who do have the heavy weapons. Speaking of,
เฮ้ย
And yeah, Hyunmin comes
นี่แหละ
away
นี่
with
แหละ
value
หอนเลยหอนเลย
off the rip. There's a stray up, peeking in towards Halls, getting the spot out.
หอน
Exchanged here. Actually, no, that was just Cruz getting stunned by Kahlua.
still,
แทง
Talon
เฮ้ย
creeping up to
อย่าควัน
the
เอ้ย
entryway
อย่า
of
โดนใน
this
ควันนะเก่าแล้วนะ
site.
ลุงทีมเขาอัปเดตแล้วดูเวเลครับแดดออกมา
Just waiting.
หัวตีเข้าไปในบอมไม่แจ่มกว่าเหรอวะ
At the ready.
Hey.
Does he send the ultimate in first? The answer is going to be no. Goes up
อุ้ย
and
โดน
up,
สโลว์
straight
อุ้ย
up.
อู้แจ่ม
Stunned up.
ไม่ต้องกันตี
Up
แจ่ม
and
อันนี้
down.
แจ่มกว่า
Taken down.
อู้แจ่มจริงครับ
Freeing within the smoke. Just
แจ่ม
that
จริง
sheriff.
ปิ้งย่างเลยครับงานนี้
Ready to come through in the corner. Freeing out.
เฮ้ยควันจะหมดเฮ้ย
Continuing to hold
เร็ว
on to the
ๆ
weapon
ทำอะไรก็รีบ
from
ทำไอ้สัต
behind,
ว์
kind of retake.
นี่ไงแม่งวางสตรีมเปิดประตูยะไอ้โกะเดี๋ยวมึงแม่งกดถ้าไม่ตาย
Shot does not connect.
ไอ้เหี้ยนี่ทำบ่อยนะ
All players
กู
from
จดแล้ว
Talon
นะ
now
กูบอกก่อน
contained within the site, but DRX needs to still try to find some way to flush him out of this.
นี่ไงคม
Good shot.
First one falls. Solid
ค
headshot
มมาก
into a
มวย
follow-up.
ไต่มวยไต่
Ripping
เจอ
them
มวย
to
ไต่
pieces, looking for the third.
ล่วง
Bane, or rather Mako has managed to find it.
เฮียนำครับ เอาแล้วเป็นแฟนทารอนนะ
Sliding away with a vandal in hand. Op will be left on
แม
the
ปหน้า
floor.
โลตัสเหรอ
It's gonna be
โอ้
retained
โหถนัดเลยนะ
and
โล
obtained
ตัส
here
อะ
from the side of Talon.
ดู
Going
จาก
into
ฮา
this
เว่น
battle around the
สาม
half
บอมเรา
as
ค่อน
they
ข้าง
will
ถ
get
นัดนะ
themselves up to 6. So
โลตัส
tied
สามบอม
at
นี่คือน่าจะ
worst,
ค
in the
ล้ายๆกัน
lead
ค
at
ล้ายๆกัน
best.
Yeah, I noted in that one when Freeing dropped the salvos to buy some time for the team when the plant started to go.
Reading it. He's
Just-
read it so well.
He disconnected to get the gun up at Dish, but then had no value for the remainder of the round, essentially trying to save the gun at the end there, trying to, as he does ultimately fall. You also see Cruz trying to pick up the ulti orb when the door gets opened, an opportunity
โคตรมี
maybe
ทรง
in
อะ
that
ตอนเนี้ย
spot for DRX to start to come back, but again, just some level-headedness
ดูคอมโบ
from the
เวเล
rookies
กับ
at
เต
the
โฮ
moment.
ดิ
It's been pretty stellar when it does come to this map in
เล่น
Fracture.
เป็นเกมสกิล
He's
ไป
always
แล้วไอ้
getting
เหี้ย
active in these duels when his job's essentially done as the smoker, when he's
เฮ้ย
provided the
อันติ
pathway
ตรงไหน
for
อั
his
นติ
team
ตรง
to
ไหน
get in.
อันติตรงไหน
And now last round
อุ้ย
of the
อัน
half,
ติแบบ
got some
อันติแบบ
stellar
ปิดเกม
ults
อะ
to be able to utilize
อันติปิด
Talon.
เกมอะ
No off here for the side of DRX, but Jit
อัน
Boys
ติปิด
has
เกมอะ
in his own
ดูดิ
hands. He's looking
ทั้ง
for
บิ
it
มทั้ง
over
ไอ
at
พิมมี่
Big
ทั้ง
Bane, trying to see if
ลุง
anyone
ทีม
can
อ่ะอุ้ยดูดิ
pushing forward in towards him.
ปิดเกม
Gunman on a
ปิด
very
เกม
aggressive line, slides over
มา
to
ดิ
the corner, but
อันติปิด
Kahlua
เกม
able to find the shot.
ไปแล้วหนึ่ง
Armageddon sent.
ไปแล้วหนึ่งนะปิด
Orbital
เกม
sent there as well from Mako. It's just going to be some damage onto the players of Talon, but Hyunmin now gone. Tip the spear, cut.
วันบายวัน
All going to be
สโลพุ่งมา
Mako just having to set up
พุ่งมา
try to peel off some of this
ไอ้เจ็ดแม่
pressure
ใครบังไว้สัตว์
that might be wrapping around.
โอ้โหมันพุ่งยังวะเมื่อกี้
Still definitely trying to go towards this site though, aren't they? They can put a pause on it at the beginning here, see if Jit Boys can get anything when that smoke starts to fade. Same can be said for Marco.
Just here inside of the smoke, looking for a timing swings out. It's only
Hey,
going to be good for
go,
one.
go,
Kahlua
go,
now
go.
with that kill.
อันติปิดเกมไม่หนึ่ง
Goes
อ้า
he turns back, finds Jit Boys.
จิตหงุดเงียว
Already going to be
ห
dealt
งุด
with.
เงียวจ้า
Swung out wide, joining in
Oh,
alongside
good
Bane. They'll find one apiece, but
meow.
nothing more. Tie, last one standing. Will get the round win for Talon, 7-5 in the lead at the half.
Yeah, really great recovery from Talon after those.
ที่เหลือคืออัลฟาล้วน
Strong his way from the
ฟอนแค่ยักหน้าพอฮะ
that even if they
เอ
don't
อ
use the Toronto.
เอ้ยเดี๋ยวเธอมีดิเอ้ยเย็ด
ๆเฮ้ย
เย็ดเย็ดเย็ด
Fantastic
ชิมิ
way
งตันจัด
to kind of approach that because I think most people would be
เป็นตัน
like,
จัด
it's a Toronto or bust.
Yeah, I
Can we
mean, you
แบบ
gotta
ทำหน้าแบบ
remember that
เอ้ย
the big old prize for the year is always going to be
อ้าว
champions too.
Yep.
กูดูคนเดียว
พี่ดูคนเดียวนะ
แต่ก็ต้องมาดู
เอาใหม่เอาใหม่เอาใหม่เอาใหม่ครับเอาใหม่ครับ
Spot on the one, Sheriff in Primi's hands going to be
Oh my, oh my.
confirmed as Bane now.
กลับมาต่อกันในครึ่งหลังครับเสียต่อ
Exchanging
5
some pressure
แต่ผม
against Ty.
เดี๋ยวต้อง
Both
เดี๋ยวจังหวะ
ต้องปูสตอรี่ใหม่
And the stealth drone immediately
เดี๋ยวไม่อิน
destroyed
ดูฮะ
overnight
ดูฮะ
by Hyunmin too.
ที่เหลือคือ
ดู
อัล
ฮะ
ฟาล้วน
ดูฮะทุกคน
For Talon, that there's some forward progression in A main.
หัวละ2
เชี่ยเลยเลยยี่คนดิบอ่ะมันคนดิบอ่ะ
ไอ้ฉีแม่งมองด้วย
มันคนดิบอ่ะกลับมาหายไป3
Push out of the smoke here from Mako. A double take from Chit Boys.
โอ้ย
Pressure
มาดิ
in front of him.
หงุดเงี้ยวไรแซ่ด
Gets the
เอ็ดไหม
camp.
เอ็ดไหม
Trying to hit the shot.
เฮ้ยโก
Tucking back in the game, but now the round run comes
เลี้ยว
through.
พี่ซอย
Driving
ไอ้เหี้ย
over, drop. The swing out, and Primmy's there on the cross angle. Talon will pick up the pistol. 2-2 in that regard, and now up by 3.
Well, you talk about Bane being able to lock down B generally on this map. How about a Jit Boys bunkering down over at the A side? 4K to come out
อยู่
from
ช่อง
him.
ซูปไอ้เหี้ยทวิตแม่งกาก
HP.
ไอ้สัส
When you think Hyunmin trying to get some damage out, and you're thinking ridiculousness is afoot.
เชี่ยแต่กู
Just a little bit better from Jit Boys here, who hasn't been able to find too much on that attacking side in his lurks. So, you would hope that that one installs a new one. More importantly, too, a pistol round finally, again, going back towards Talon, only picking up the second in both these maps.
Mako was likely getting the read that it was going
ไม่รู้พูด
to
เชี่ยเลยน่ะ
through that defender spawn as well. As well, meanwhile, just a peek in towards
เชี่ย
Bane.
แม่งพูดอะไรวะ
Ruby has the better right hand.
แม่งพูดอะไรวะ
In this case, yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
ควรไม่จับวะ
มันพูดอะไรวะ
Just pistols for DRX though. Wouldn't mind seeing some
เย้
orbitainment, but Premi wants to stop that.
Beacon finding one. Mako just, hip fire action. Looking to steady it. Eventually does. And Jit Boys wasn't able to find the ace. Premi now, similarly low HP.
ไหลแล้ว
Looking to see if he can find one, but for now, we'll just go ahead and scoop up that orb.
เอ้ย
Or maybe
Well,
Jit
allow
Boys
here.
can
Jit Boys takes
steal it back, yep.
Only
Come
these
back,
two
book,
players
right,
get ult charge. Nobody else.
I mean, I wouldn't actually mind it when you think about the defensive side for a Cypher ult here, going into a bonus. You could definitely see that picked up pretty easily.
He's got crept up here.
Oh, he's got a
Through the
Premi.
sewer. He's got the angle at the ready.
ไปต่อยก็ซวยดิทนาย
Just walking right into it.
ต่อยก็โดน
And
จับ
there you
อยู่
go. Predator ace found as Premi. Looking electric here on this waylay. 9-5 now. Talon well out in front as we go into their bonus.
Very sharp shots to come out from him when the scope is there. The hipfire ones, though, looking a little bit awkward for the one against.
He got the flick kill.
Yeah, he gets the hard ones. It's the easier ones, though. But no, nevertheless, a great ace for him to come out there, one away from third class now coming in towards this next round as well. In a bonus variety, it's not the worst weaponry for Talon either.
How much do they realize about this judge? The DRX themselves have been bringing shotguns
อุ้ย
forward
เย้
into
เท่วัด
tower.
แถบตาย
Is frantically looking for some
มันมีเหล็ก
damage
มึงไม่
there
รู้เหรอ
on the reveal.
ตรงนั้น
Unable to find anything with the Guardian. Bane just pushes forward. Shitboy's going to be taken down. Sight now
เฮ้ย
opened
แล้ว
up.
คิดว่าเฮ้ย
Just strafes in, I believe.
แหลมๆมาเลย
Maybe blind shot is able to go ahead and find that kill. Full position. Freeing. His shot's just dancing around his head, but he's got his sights trained on Cruz.
Of course, sending the Guardians here, look for some damage.
It's still just the bonus here for Talon. Dropping this round. Still, we'll have them up by 3. Decently cozy position. And Premi, kill or death, will have that ult online.
เย้แม่งทำเสียงโดดกลับ
If he's going to be able to find anything, otherwise it's looking like a
พี่บอก
flawless
เดี๋ยว
here
กูเอ
for
ง
the
เพื่อน
side
เฮ้ย
of
กู
DRX.
กู
Backpedal. Getting
Ninja
away here
defuse.
from the angles. Creating even more distance, so yeah, it seems like Premi not quite going to be able to get it done. And rushing forward.
เฮ้ยไม่ดีแล้วพิมมี่เฮ้ยเฮ้ย
Nothing going to
เฮ้
be
ย
spotted. Some noise made, and Estrella will just swing out. Says, "Yeah, I would like to get my rolling thunder."
Yeah.
อ๋อไม่
So
ได้อี
we'll
โค
go
นี่
ahead,
หว่า
hand the ult over to the waylay.
Yeah, there was always
โอ
a
เปอเร
chance
เตอร์
there.
มาแล้วครับแม่งซ
Thinking
วย
myself, live and not get it, right?
แม่งเจอบอกโต
Possibility for that one, but nevertheless, a very quick one into the B
ได้ยิงไหม
site for DRX. I saw on the radar as well. Every single member of Talon that was over at the A site immediately booked it over there too. So not being, or not having any focus on a potential flank to come on through too. Early timeout here after dropping the bonus round. So Talon looking for a bit of an idea earlier on as opposed to what they did in the first half.
พอเราจริง
Curious if this is going to be
เพราะว่ามีสไนไง
kind
ต้อ
of
ง
set
สั่ง
strategy
เฮ้ย
here with the
มึง
waylay
ต้องเล่น
ult
อย่าง
coming
นี้นะ
through.
ต้องไปตรงนี้นะ
But
สไน
I think it's also
ที่เหลือยังไง
very similar stories for both of these teams when it comes down to just getting that momentum going, getting that streak built up. And we saw it from DRX on Icebox. Give them that tiny bit of space, they will be able to take a mile, start running away with a map. So even up by 3, 1 away from double digits, Talon not feeling super comfortable quite just yet.
Now, if they're able to get their first gun round on the board and, you know, either doing it with a play with the Waylay ult, or if they're doing it just together as a team and making sure the fundamental utils that they can repeat a lot of the time happen, it would be good. We've got an operator out for Premium, however, though, here.
ทีมแม่ง
So
ดิ
expect a refract challenge
แม่ง
potentially.
จังไรคนนะทั้งมึงก็ยืนให้กันก็ผิดทั้งคู่แหละ
Having everyone spread around the map, though, quite largely for Talon in this one. Meanwhile, Hyunmin
เกาหลีสักทีมเก่ง
very
มาก
far
ที
forward
ม
in
โนสุ
toward
กิ
A main, team in tow.
Shots sent out there as well, nearly finding
นั่นไงสแปมควันเห็นไหม
over on towards
บอกแล้วอย่าเบียวมาโกะไอ้เหี้ย
take it down as Estrella
มันคือสกิลเพย์เว้ย
finds that kill, opens up the rope. Primi repositioning, shifts over, gets over towards drop, but now is alone. I'm trying to hold this side, finds the first hit. Freeing going to be taken down, but this plant still going to be coming through.
Spike planted.
This Cruz noted on the flank, but do they know that Thai is also on the approach here from the angle? I'm going to be cleared out. Only Bane spotted thus far. Mako just around the corner. There to
พูดผิด
reinforce.
ตรงไหนไม่ผิดเลยครับ
This
พี่
ult
ไม่
is
ได้
going
ว่า
to
เล
be
ย
invested here.
ขอบคุณด้วยซ้
Mako though peeking in the door, able to find one. Bane going to be taken down. Premi finds the op shot. Now Mako and Estrella needing to try to fight their way out of this one. The ladder has fallen.
กูเลย
The fuse being held to half the swing in. Mako with a 4K.
ร้อย
Will get DRX that round win. 2 in a row picked up here in the half for them. Some decent damage dealt from the hands of Talon, but a couple players on their side. Cash is in a wobbly spot.
Yeah, the immediate A presence from DRX there actually had Cruz go for the flank through tree pretty quickly. He destroyed the trap wire really early on, forcing out a second one from Bane too, but didn't really hang around too much to watch for the flank, because the idea for Talon there is to wait and see what Premi's going to be able to spot first before having to put in the ultimate towards the site to allow his team to get into holes. I just feel like it was like a little bit too late for Talon in that sort of
ำกูเห็นหลายร
scenario.
อบแล้ว
And this
บิ
is
ม
the
สโตน
spot
แม่ง
where
เนี่ย
DRX
มันมีอะไรสักอย่างเว้ย
to bring some
มันเข้า
stability
ข้อ
on
มา
their
ก
attacking side.
Really heavy stack. Chance for this to go sideways. It looks like they don't want to take any chances. In fact, as the rolling thunder is going to be sent out.
Can't get in though behind it.
แล้วเข้าไม่ได้ด้วย
It's going to be
โอ้
held
ผมมา
back.
วินนะ
They spray through and widely, nothing is gained.
All 10 members on this
อย่า
alpha
เอา
side.
ชัวร์เว้ยไอ้โหไอทีอันติไหมวะมึงสงสัย
Lingers, no
มึง
flanks.
ต้องไปดูอันติก่อนหน้านี้ของเอเตล่านี่แหละ
About to
คนเดิมเลย
push up here and
แจ่มๆทั้งนั้นเลยอะแต่ละอันที่แม่งทำอะ
as now it starts falling apart a little bit here for Talon on the thrifty attempt.
Yeah.
For the start, it was
Hey.
very possible. Jiggle peek, Molly going to be sent. Cruz just swinging out, trying to strafe over the top platform with the shorty in hand, but it's only going to be minor damage found. As DRX looking for a flawless. Primi is going to go backpedaling and sprinting across the rope.
There is a trap there that he would have to destroy.
Got one trap, goes to the other.
Otherwise, he's just going to have to wait for a potential exit here, because he does need to meet his demise in this round.
Just going to see if he can get any kind of catch here.
รู้เยอะอีกแม่งมา
If
ระ
Hyunmin
วัง
did
หลั
get
ง
the
แค
kill,
บบิ๊ก
he would have the ult
Well,
online
Menglenแบบ
too.
Catch up plenty. I think
Oh, yeah.
you'd rather get this over to Freeing,
สวย
and we'll be able to do
กระ
so.
โดด
So
เนี่ย
teammates,
แม่งมีอันติเพิ่ม
flawless
เข้า
round
อีก
here for the side of DRX. One away from tying things up now.
Yeah, good
Go back into
dismantling.
another buy.
Good dismantling on that
Hey,
side as
I'm
well.
like,
It
oh,
doesn't really
nah,
matter
big
what
lead,
weaponry that Talon do have, right? The presence of 5, though, you can still kind of come out with something a little bit shaky, something a little bit worrisome at times. So I don't mind the investment of all the ults and the rolling thunder in the very beginning, although it's not really finding too much value, which has kind of been
เกาหลี
every
อาจช
instance
นะ
on
เรา
this
ใน
map
เก
so far from
ม
Australia.
แต่ตามค่าเฉลี่ยเกาหลีหำลึกกว่าไทยเครื่องหมายสี่เหลี่ยมค่าเฉลี่ยไม่เคยหลอกใคร
Yeah.
สวยน้อง
Not much value is found.
Something for them to go back towards in review potentially. And
Molly towards tower.
ถือว่าชนะ
Hyunmin
ใช่ไหม
sprinting in, trying to
ตี
find
ละ
a
ครั้ง7
catch.
ปีเว้ย
Jit boys, does he get caught by that?
โอ้โห
Spray across
นี่
the
ไง
gap, just
สกิลเพย์เห็น
keeps
ปะ
a lot of place there. Tying spotted. Jit boys however
Yeah.
on the jump, still going to be good for one, but Freeing quickly trades it back.
Operator for Primi here as well. Definitely needs a
คน
line
ได้
of
สอนเลย
sight.
น้อง
Freeing with the plank, gives him the Armageddon now.
And also
Yeah,
no
that one.
smokes because Thai was
Hey, man,
down
man,
first. It
do
makes this
kind of
retake
bang
a little bit more difficult.
Do they toggle the camera at all. Bane does.
ไม่เห็น
ไม่เห็น
He did.
เรามีหมูไม่มีแถบเรียบร้อยดิ
นี่ไงไหลอ่ะมึง
Right there into the elbow, and he's going to be kicking Bane.
แต่บ้าน
And
เทีย
how
แต่
did you
บ้าน
not
เทีย
see him?
Just remember, orbital strike from Marco here.
โอ้ระวังวะเนี่ยมันต้องระวังตรงนี้หน่อยอ่ะไม่นั้นโดนแน่
Has it at the ready.
โอ้สตัน
There's a
Okay,
stun.
ไม่ได้
Orbital not going to be finding any eliminations, but
โอ้
shoves them back, shoves them in towards tower, and the
ไอ้
shots
เหี้ย
right
จั
now
บไป
being
ใครก็
hit
แตก
are damn clean. It's another
damn
team ace, this time
clean.
far from flawless, but DRX, they have successfully tied it up at 9-9, running back 4 rounds in a row.
Yeah, ever since the bonus round that they're able to get here, so the operator of Primi, whilst trying to find some damage, trying to find some kills, not able
ที่
to
ใจล่าสุ
work
ด
with
ไทย
the
ก็เล็ก
team,
กว่าอุ้ย
getting
ใช้ลูกทางอะไรอย่างเงี้ย
things done by
ทำไมวะ
himself.
ไทยเล็กลงหรือมันใหญ่ขึ้นวะ
Team play come through in the early scenario here because whilst you're always going to understand
ขียนมา
that it's
ว่า
a
ไม่ใช่
difficult
เรา
retake
เล็ก
to
กว่า
come on
นั่น
out,
แหละกูอยากรู้
right? For
มัน
Talon
ใหญ่
in
ขึ้น
that
หรือ
sort
เรา
of
เล็กลง
scenario, there's a couple of spots where Dai gets caught out really early on in the piece. He's not in the right position to play counter to anything fast like Hyunmin is just sending out right now.
Spotted up nearly, has him lined
Good
up,
by
and
Saul,
Cruz
yeah.
still will take quite a bit of damage there on the
Hey, team, come
collapse,
nice.
down
Team.
to 53. Keeps himself alive here for the moment. Just a
ได้
1
ว่ะ
for 1
ทีนี้เรา
thus
ได้ว่ะ
far. It's Primi
โอเค
peeking in, dead. Mako finding the kill, the Armageddon just
Hey,
rolling
Pete,
out that
no.
red carpet here to shove them back. Cruz is going to look to fill
ดู
the
ดิดู
space
ดิ
here, chasing the
สร้าง
explosions.
สเปซแล้วไปยิงแล้วไม่เอากลับด้วย
Answering
อุ้ย
Armageddon,
โคตรดุ
keeps him locked in position.
เหี้ย
Bane
แล้วใคร
finds the
ไม่มีใคร
headshot,
ช่วย
gets
เล
the
ย
new depth reveal. And that tells all.
เฮียสร้างสเปซเพื่อไปยิง
ก่อนมาไม่ทันเลย
Can set yourselves up for a post plant
Oh.
scenario now as well.
Oh, yeah,
Marco still with the
yeah.
incendiary counter neural theft.
ป้ามาโกดไม่แย่จริง
Planted.
เป้า
Now
พี่
that
เอ็
they
ม
can safely get themselves through the door. Bane swinging
Madi,
out,
Madi,
dead.
Madi.
Wanted to try to get
โดน
the
ส
peek
ตัน
there
ช่วยหน่อย
before that final ping had
กูวิ่ง
come
เร็วเว้ย
through.
เฮีย
Fring now going to
โด
be
นตัน
forced
แต่วิ่ง
away.
เร็ว
สองตัว
A molly from Mako
ไม่รู้
can
มัน
hold
ไม่
the
รู้
door for a little bit longer.
เล็งแซนอยู่
Tai is going to look to try to create some split pressure. No, both of them doubling
ส
back.
วยหลอกดีหลอกดี
Marco was watching
หล
this
อกดี
before.
จัด ไม่รู้แล้วอันนี้แยกกันละ
But now
เฮ้ย
just
เว
looks
ลา
at the
น้อย
board
ต
of
ล
time.
อดเลยอะ
Starting to get away from them
เนี่ย
a
แล้ว
bit.
ก็มาเร่งไง
Straightforward.
สวยดิ
One player's position
เฮ้ย
confirmed. Mako finding the first. Swing.
อู้
Boys.
จิตบอยฮะ
Has the
มั่น
headshot.
ใจ
Has the defuse.
คนคุมอ่ะ
Thought maybe Mako would send out the molly, but didn't think that he had enough time. They capitalized. Talon now once again reestablish the lead.
Always a risky thing, isn't it? When you try to bring out some utility and you hear the
มันโหดอ่ะ
stomps on the floor, you think that they're a little bit closer than they might be. Love the investment of the Armageddons as well and the space that Cruz is able to find behind it, but similarly, just the right
ไอ้
timing
เหี้ย
and
แม่งโหด
spotting
เลย
from
หน้าหนาว
Bane.
เข้าใจได้ไหม
Capitalize on the counter Armageddon that comes on out. It does all get ripped away a little bit though when you consider that Talon do get the round and stave off those ults
จิต
there.
บอยอีกแล้วเหรออันนี้ดีหรือไม่
They'll
ดี
be the
เนี่ย
first team to achieve
คำนี้
double
ฟังดู
digits
ไม่ค่อย
in
ดี
this
เลย
one, and also still
เหมือนไอ้
having
หนุ่ย
to
อี
be
ก
a
แล้วเหร
little
อ
bit careful of their own investments. Light shields across the board. A judge in possession again here. It's going to be Cruz this time holding that one.
เหี้ย
Their ult cycle's in such a strong position as well, though.
Yeah,
Remy,
for sure.
ready to go. Thai, 1 away. Kalua, 3
Ah,
charges
don't
for the
lock.
Rolling Thunder. Whereas Estrella and Mako just about at the halfway
You
point
found
towards
it.
having
You need
theirs.
Yeah, Thai is towards this B
Oh,
side.
let me die,
Good
yo.
timing on
Oh,
his
they do
guy
cheat it.
smoke.
Me
Can
yo, me
lock
yo,
out
me
DRX
yo.
for a
ตาย
little
พร้อม
bit.
จะโยกแล้วเนี่ย
Gonna try and
man.
sniff out where this trap is though
ชิว
first, Hyunmin.
ติดแท็บนั่นตายดิ
Gets the catch. He's going to be ping revealed.
ตาย
Spray
ส
across
วย
the
เนี่ย
two
ไอ้บาง
boys.
สกิลเพ
Eventually
ย์
able to find it.
แล้วเปิดกล้อง
Toggles the
ดูดิ
catch. Steadies the
เปิดกล้องอีก
spray.
ทีนึง
Spray's gonna be
นั่นแหละ นั่นแหละ
boys at 8 HP.
โอ้ย
Still
เปิดกล้องอีกทีนึง
value.
ถ้าเปิดกล้องตามสูตรยังไงก็ได้เว้ย
We're
ไอ้
in
เหี้ยเพื่อนที่
for a
มาช่วยตายหาหมดแล้ว
2v2. Both players approaching from Talon, making their way up through
จิต
tree.
แม่งโคตรแข็ง
Both at the ready. Sent. Invested.
โอ้อันติไม่โดนตัววางเฮ้ยอันติอะไรวะ
Both sides not cleared out. The snap
อุ้ยดู
back
ดิมา
coming
มา
through. He
มาฉีก
survives.
เป้าครับอ้าว
But Bane is there to capitalize.
ได้ข่าว
ไม่ทันเจอเชิงคิดรัวเจอเชิงคิดรัวกูสุด
Off the defuse is Kalua, and it's going to be a
และ
red
คิด
full
รัวไม่พร้อม
clutch.
ชนะใครเลยตอนนี้ไอ้เนี่ย
The 1K mark, 10-10. We're tied up
ฟัง
once
ดูแล
more.
ยังวะ
This one is close. This is the sort of level of Valorant that we wanted to coming in towards a elimination series like
พี่
this
เกียร์
one.
ไป3เพื่อน
Glad
มา
to
เติม
see
ตา
that
ยหา
we're
หมด
getting this
Keep
one.
them
Glad
watching.
to see that we're seeing teams and
Men
players in the
Kodning.
server not scared to
Kodning.
go for these duels.
Hey,
Not
team
scared
Dot,
to
like,
hang
Dot.
around and try
Hey,
and
team
fight it
Dot.
on out, right? Do see a lot of teams just
Hey,
try
team
and
Foot,
shoot
we hop
and
off.
scurry away and play retake.
ยิงหนีแล้วไปยิง
Talon
แล้วหนี
เกิดอะไรขึ้นวะ
recognizing that they can't
ที่
get
หนึ่ง
out
ไหน
dodge.
เหี้ยจิตเก็บ3
ไม่รู้แล้ว
Bang with the clutch though, and now it swings in favor of DRX with the economy. I mentioned it just before, right? Yeah, the old game was looking a little bit stronger for Talon, but the weaponry mark, yeah, not so much. They take a knee. Down on the pistols here. Hope to find a cheeky round.
ไม่ใช่กล้องเว็บแคมนะกล้องอะไอ้เหี้ยกล้องไอ้สัตว์
here for the team, but in this position is not going to be able to do too much. Just a classic there to try to hold down main. The site now wide open. Ty clearing out the camera there with the sheriff. Eats a little bit of damage. Orbital strike going to be a bridge well too far.
เฮ้ยเอาดีเพื่อนนึกว่าจะไป
Some kills being found here in the next few seconds, but nothing spotted quite just yet. Mako
นี่
shoulder
มา
not
แล้ว
noticed.
โกรธแล้ว
That's gonna be a
กล้อง
weapon
โกรธแล้ว
nearly
จะมาเปิด
handed
กูเหรอ
over. Bane is there to try to
จะมาเปิด
protect
กูไอ้
season
ฟาด
knows where Kalua's position is
มา
at.
ดิ
And he's
ดูเชิง
off on the
ดู
shot.
เชิง
Now stunned up. Now
มึงยิงอะไรวะมึงชัวร์ๆหน่อยดิมึงตับเลย
strike. It looks up to be a taste
ไว้
here.
หน่อยไว้หน่อยโอ้ไม่ได้
Pring though able to find one more. Primi could be taken down. 3v3 as Hyunmin sprinting around, gets a headshot on the Cruz. Things getting a little bit scattered here for the side of DRX, but around victory still is going to be found.
กล้องไม่จับไอ้เหี้ยกล้อง
Theirs, and wisely in the end, Talon do hold on to their ults after all.
Yeah, no, definitely the right call for them there to have them available into this next round because you're getting into the nth moment in this map as well, right? 11 to 10. You need to make sure that you've got kind of everything up your sleeve available in these sort of scenarios when you also consider that Talon did lose map number 1 of their own choosing, right? So they have to win this one and push us into the third in Lotus. This round,
เอาล่ะ
fight stacked.
มีปะทะงานนี้อยู่ที่การจ่ายแล้ว
And freeing both 2 away from their ults. I mean, even Bane's 2 away from his
มีปะทะ
ult
นะ
too, so there's going to be plenty of options for DRX on a map that is stacked with ulti
อะไร
orbs.
ใส่หมดเลย
Yeah, last couple rounds, each little swing for them as far as
Antti.
the ult economy is concerned.
อันตีอยู่ไหนอะพี่ชาย
Man on the
เอาดิ
jiggle,
โดน
goes
สโล
back
ว์
in,
อัน
spots
ตี
out
ดี
and he's able to slide away.
อี
Quick saturates as well to
ไม่
counter
ใช่
Cannon's
วะ
aggression and speed. Definitely the
เฮ้ย
right
เฮ้ยเฮ้ยเฮ้ยเฮ้ยอย่าเล่นนาน
when you consider away late.
The fact that everyone gets away scot-free, no damage suffered. A little bit shocking.
มันไม่กดไปสักทีป่ะ
Bane just trying to create some pressure, clears out the cam over on that that A side of the map.
Oh, Cruz.
ไม่นักกีฬาเขาก็ต้องจับต่อดิ
Forward, taking space here within the smoke.
นักกีฬาไม่ได้เหม็นกันเว้ย
He goes out on a time.
ให้มันเป็นเรื่องของผู้ใหญ่งานเนี้ยเป็นเรื่องของผู้ใหญ่
Lurking here, but instead gets a rude awakening as he spots 3.
Because when you see a player that deep in A main, you do consider that it is just going to be a lurk scenario there for anyone hanging around tree. Quite unfortunate for him, but now with things pivoting towards this other side of the map, you're going to have to contest with the Cypher utility that Jip Boys does have at now the A site. Bit different.
โดนลุมแล้วอ่ะโดนล้อมแล้วไฟมา
Still proved to be difficult to try to get into. That Rolling Thunder is
Antti
available.
ไล่
They're going to go ahead and
อ
open
อก
up
มา
with
ก่อนแล้ว
the
ตายได้หนึ่ง
Free
ล้านสี่
position.
เบรก
Plans
โอ้
to
สวย
speak
จัด
to find one. Straight going to be taken down fast lane, only going to last for so long.
โอ้
And
ไม่อันติกดกระบาลมันไปเลยวะไอ้
just
เหี้
in
ย
time as Mako finds a headshot. High now dead, orbital. Not something that they have to concern
ดู
themselves
จิตดิ
with on the side of DRX now.
โอ้
As
โห
Chip Boys
เหี้ย
flushed
จิตจุ
down,
ดแล้ว
it's
วะ
just chaos. No one knowing
Thì
where
nhỉ?
anyone is. But it's DRX with the player advantage.
ไม่มีอันติไม่มีสตันแต่ส
Primi
ตัน
on the
เมื่อกี้
drop down.
ดับเบิล
Being
พีกเหรอ
spotted. The re-swing, the double face. And now the match point. Bane finds the final shot, 12 to 10. Talon needing 2 in a row to take this into overtime.
ต้องดับเบิลพีกไปดิ
This will be their stage 1 coming to its conclusion.
12 to
นี่ตรงเนี้ย
10.
โหน่า
Another
ได้
round
สักหนึ่ง
where
เว้ยอัน
a
ติ
couple
ล
of
ง
key
กระบาล
moments
แม่ง
and
ไป
it
เล
could
ย
have gone
เหี้ย
either
ได้
team's
จ่าย
way. Not able to
มันจ่าย
find a
ว่ะ
lot of value off the Cypher utility on the site. You're flushed out by the orbital strike. You're trying to buy yourself some time as well, just on the Rolling Thunder that you send back. But as the stuns do fade, as you say, it's DRX going with some great
ที่พวกสวิง
ideas.
นี้น่า
It's
โดนในพิมมี่ใช่ไหม
double swing as well. So now it has to
พิม
be
มี่ทำได้
flawless
นะถ้ามัน
for
ยิงตัวแรก
Talon.
เร็วๆหน่อยบอก
They'll
เลยตัวสอง
stampede in
ได้
towards tree to get some further
นี่ไง
information and
มา
kill
แล้ว
her.
กล้องฉลาด
We'll open up the boss by finding Hyunmin.
Certainly a good kill to be found. Primi still pushing forward. Mako seemingly reading this, but Bane
เฮ้ย
picked apart the
โอ
rope
ที
bomb.
โอที
Primi, he's right here. They spotted him out. He finds the first, but he
สวย
can't
แล้ว
quite
สวย
get
แล้ว
that second.
4-2ทำไง 4-2ทำไง
A 2v4.
ปล่อยรีเทคไหมว่าไงไปตายดีกว่า
Looking like they are in well
สัตว์เกื
positioned
อบแล้ว
to get this within touching distance of OT.
The idea for DRX now to play contact as well, silently to the choke entry of this B site.
ให้มันวางไปให้มันวางไป
Surely just
ให้มันวางให้มันเอ้ยล็อกควันดิล็อกควันดิได้เปรียบเฮ้ยกลัวอะไรวะดีนั่นแหละไอ้เหี้ย
left scratching his head.
Yeah, they do have investments in the next round, of course. Marco requesting a weapon though. So in a spot like this for a straight up, 30 seconds to go. Priority on dropping the gun for your teammate or damage against Talon, who
สตัน
again
ให้ได้ตอนเขาวางต้อง1ตัวอันนั้นถ้าจะเล่นรีเทคนะแต่เล่นรีเทคจะดีที่สุดเพราะว่าถ้าไปเล่นในไซต์เดี๋ยวไม่ได้ใช้อันติเล่นรีเทคก็ตัด 5-4 แจมไปถึงแค่บิมกับบีทนะที่เหลือก็เล่นปกติสู้ปกติที่เหลือสู้ปกตินะตัดให้ได้มากที่สุด
Yeah,
could just be insurmountable at the
ใคร
end
วาง
of
ไม่
it.
ใช่ตาขาดให้ละ
right place
ต้องตายอ่ะไอ้เหี้ยตัววางมึงต้องตายอ่ะ
absolutely give DRX a bad day. Similarly though, you can throw it the other way, right? Because
แต่
they've
สู้ใน
already
บอม
got
ก็
them
ระ
online.
ยำอยู่เหมือนกันนะ
They've
เขา
got
มี
the
โบม
Armageddon
ดีด้วย
online. They don't have an auto strike, but
อ๋อ
do have something else.
เฮียพ่อ
So we go into the last round of regulation, and there's that
เอา
timeout that we
แล้
were just
วแม่ง
mentioning.
เอ้ย
Will
พอ
probably
ยัด
come
แผ
on
นอ
through.
ย่างนี้เรียบร้อยว่ะ
Of course, you get another one going
อยู่ที่
into
กลืน
OT.
แล้วอยู่ที่กลืนแล้ว
So why not use it here?
And yep, it will be from the
พอ
DRX
ยัดแผน
camp.
ว่ะคืองี้นะอันตีเราประมาณเนี้ย
He had one
เราต้องทำอย่างนี้
remaining
เว้ย
DRX
อย่าง
will go
นี้
ahead. The first one to pull the trigger here on Fracture, and the last, unless this does in fact go to OT.
เหี้ยคนอื่นเขาคอจะขาวกว่าหน้า
The ult is
เฮ้ยหน้า
very,
ขาวคอ
very
อุ้ย
possible.
ดี
here.
ดาด้า
Yeah, but I mean, I cast my mind back towards Icebox as well, and I
มา
know we're
แล้ว
seeing
ไอ้
a
สัต
lot
ว์
more from
ฟอส
Talon
กอด
on
อก
this
หมาย
map.
ความว่าไง
9 first kills and only
เข้า
converting
โซ
that
น
into 4 round wins too,
ไอ้จิต
right? DRX had
คิ้ว
less
ขมวด
first kills, and they were always winning these
กู
lesser
เชี่ยเลยวะจิตบอก
equipped rounds, lesser
พี่แปลไทยหน่อย
planned rounds. So in towards this next one, it is very vital that we've just got some sort of advantages held by Talon to try and push us into
ข้าง
OT.
ผู้คนเดียวเอ้าคุยไปแล้ว
Of course, these sort of scenarios as well, on the back of a timeout for the rookies, if they get in their own heads here too, right, that could absolutely spell disaster. Killua,
ต้อง
Die,
เต้เขาไม่ลงมือเองครับผม
Primi to a degree too, right? Still relatively new to this sort of scene, this tier. So let's see what's going to happen in the last round of the regulation.
It's looking like a B-side
ปี
crunch
นี้เหมือน
here.
จะปล่อยเหมือนกัน
North and south side both occupied here from DRX as Primi just jumping up over the top, getting himself onto the box, and this is going to be maybe a bit more of an unorthodox position to try to anticipate playing against when you have a waylay on the opposite side.
Yeah, we haven't seen it at
นี่
all.
เป็นเวลาที่พี่บุ้มที่ผ่านเลยพี่
นี่ไงก็เอ้าแล้วไอ้ต่ายจะได้ใช้ไหมเนี่ยไปยืนอยู่ในนั้นน่ะ
as well.
นั่นเด็
This could
ไม่เหมือน
certainly
ที่คุยกันไว้นี่หว่า แต่อยู่4อย่างนี้ได้คุยอยู่ เหมือนค่ายบางระจันน่ะสู้จนตัวตายอ่ะห่วยเหี้ยทองเหม็นเอาไป
eventually get picked off here by Estrella. As ults now starting to get done. Orbital
2เรียบร้อย
strike,
ไม่
catching
ตาย
bait.
เฮ้ย
Him down to 10 HP.
And that's just going to be an immediate reset onto the round, isn't it? Cruz has
ที่โรง
done
เรียนอยู่โคตรชิวอ่ะ เรี
massive
ยบร้อยว่า
work
ให้
to
มาเข้าต่อ
find the two towards Arcade.
แพ้แล้ว
Molly sent. Bane
กิ๊บ
not within it. Does manage to get that hit off that reveal. Ping out knows. This one just on the opposite side here of the site. Tries to swing for it. Finds the headshot, but Primi over from that gen position.
โอ้เหลือ10ยังฆ่าไป1ไอ้เหี้ย
รวมเลยปล่อยเลยจิตฉลาดแค่นั้นแหละมันจบแล้วเว้ย ดูทางขึ้นให้กล้องหน่อยดิ นั่นแหละ
เรียบร้อยบีทดิฟไอ้เหี้ย
Straight anticipating
No.
the pressure here, the position on the site.
แม่งไม่คำนึง
He's off his utility.
เอ้า
Shot.
ดับเบิลเบรก
Looking for a little more.
3 2 1ให้มันวางแล้วไปด้วยกันไปได้ไกลมีอะไรไหมมีสตันนะมีสตันสตันสวยลงแรง
Primi trying
บ้า
to
เหี้ย
catch
โกง
here.
จัดอย่างกระสอบมา
Time, but as
เฮ้ย
Mako swings out, he is double facing.
อันนี้ไม่โดน
Talon clean up the
Yeah.
round. 12 to 12. We're
ไอ้
going
รู้
to
ก็มา
OT.
ปาไปก่อนเดี๋ยวไอ้
Now
เหี้ย
they're not going to be plagued with any haphazard buys as well.
ไอ้
They're
ไม่
going to
ตาม
have
ไม่
what
ก
they
ลัวกล้อง
need.
เหี้ย
They can consider if they want to get another operator back out, but I think Premi's looked a bit better, for example, on these rifles. So, on the back of the timeout for DRX, not able to convert it.
โอ้โหดูทองเหม็นดิบอกแล้วหมู่บ้านบาราจังต้องการพี่เขา
Just trying to see what Bane could do around it. The fact that he's able to find one kill there with 10 HP as well, trying to give some options to his team to be able to clutch it in the end. And the multi-fragging rounds come through for Primi, and now we see ourselves in the fabled OT, where DRX definitely have a better OT scoreline result.
ทองเหม็นนี่เป็นตัวอะไรวะ
But it also means that they've gone, you know, a lot of deep ones, especially on Fracture too. 13-11s, overtimes. It's always seemingly the name of the game here for them.
ตึงนะ
versus T1. Able to get in,
Bị
kind of
tẩu.
get out relatively quickly on that, but right now it looks like Talon going to be a bit of a different beast
น้ำมา
here.
ไก่หนุ่ยพี่เต๋า
No operator in sight, no glass cannon.
เต๋าพี่เต๋าขี่หนุ่ย
Gonna be straight up rifles on both sides. Big push
ควาย
out
เขาชื่ออะไร
at
วะ
the moment.
หนุ่ยไง
Checking
ไม่
in
ใช่
towards
ใน
B.
เรื่องดิ
Wary about some aggressive pressure out of A.
Yeah, but who's at B usually? It's Bane
เนี่ยหนุ่ยเต็ม
back
ชัดเลย
towards the tower with his setups as well, assisted by Marco. But apart from that, rotations now because look who's gone north side by himself. It's freeing. He's getting all the information, destroying the camera. So it has to be the south side call now for Talon to get this A-holes control.
บุญเลิศ
Spotting him out.
ที่บุญเลิศเพราะอะไรหรือเปล่า
Goes diving
มัน
forward.
ต้องมีแหละ 2,000 คนน่ะเอาบุญเลิศอ่ะมีแหละ
Take it on a slow approach here. Straya sending
มี
out
มี
that
โด
ball
นเนี่ย
line.
ดุ้งไปดิ
That's enough for
ดุ้งอ่ะ
Talon. Want to pivot back
เลือดเก่า
across.
มันเป็นชื่อปู่แล้วมั้ง
Marco does slide up through
มี
PNT to reinforce this
เก่า
B
ไป
site. The spike is there. You still have 3 players trying to sell an A hit.
Trying to toy with the rotation
nè.
at the moment. Meanwhile, Freeing is still happy enough to frolic around the north side of the map.
พ่อฟุก
Jit boys walking forward. Cam
ดี
check. Marco now
เดินดีจัด
just there, striking from behind. Expected there's going to be some follow-ups. The Molly does get sent. Gunman at the
ช่วยด้วยช่วยด้วย
meantime.
โดนตันช่วยด้วยช่วยด้วย
Here, trapped at top site.
ดี
Gunned up.
ต้องเป็นคนนี้นะ
But then Primi is
Khom.
right there on top of
Lùi
the
để mà.
headshot found. Estrella giving away his
ประกันควันเหรอ
position. Straight pick
ฮะ
back as the
ตัด
salvos
แล้วพวก
fly
กูได้
towards
วาง
him.
ไงพวกแม่ง
Plan
ซวย
gonna be
เหี้ย
interrupted here for the moment. It's 13 seconds remaining. Primi eating a little bit of damage.
Ít
Spike
nồi.
now on the floor.
อย่าปาไฟที่สวยปาเล่นอีกแกไม่มีอะไรทำก็กดไปอ่ะ
กินเดี๋ยวเท่าไหร่อ่ะ
ถือปืนนี่หว่า
Kalua
ถ้าไม่มีอะไร
trying to
ทำ
hold
อ่ะ
it. The backup coming through. Cruz here, shoulder to shoulder.
มาดิ
Teammate. They go 1 for 1. Mako,
ไม่ไหว
however,
กับโก
fighting
โอ้ย
back.
โอ้
As Freeing
แย่
finds
เฮ้ยแพ้เหร
Primi.
อ
And Ty's
แม่งลุม
position
แม่งรอลุม
is known.
ไอ้ตายเอาเมนก่อนตายถ้าเป็นกูต้องเอาเมนก่อน
Time still
Thôi!
on their side, but now into the 1v1.
Ui, tai!
Time looking for it, but Freeing finding it. It's the headshot as he's popping off. And TRX will once again themselves a match point.
Yeah, they had 2 chances to try and close it off in regulation, right? Talon pushing us into overtime, but now DRX back in the lead and switching back over to their attacking side.
เหี้ยเขาใช้งูมัน
It was Talon that
ครึ่
opted
ง
to
โลก
start
ไอ้
with
สัตว์
attack
แม่งไปใช้
on
แน
this
ท
map, by the way.
งูกล้องโคตรคม
So it is the side that DRX
ใช้
is
แนท
just
เรียบร้อยเลยนะ
โง่
essentially
มึง
coming
ไป
from.
ใช้เน็ตเฉยเลยงูรีคอนครึ่งโลกอ่ะ
Just hero moments here. Really just boiling it down.
And the
Tập tài
timeout
nhìn
comes
đây thôi.
through. You get another one coming
tài
into overtime, right?
Once
So
again, I have the question: who is it?
Talon, I would assume here on this one, being
ใคร
down
มาดู
in
พี่
the
วะเนี่ย
เมื่อ
OT
เมื่อ
count.
เมื่อเมื่อก่อนมันเป็น
No, it's
ไอ้นี่
DRX
ไหม
is dead.
DRX.
เป็นเรื่อ
Okay.
งตาตีอะเป็น
They
แบ
want
บ
to try and end this one early here and
Không
get a 2-0
แต่พอกูโตมาแม่งกลายเป็นฮิตเฉย
unclean
แบบ
map
ทรง
2,
เกาห
but
ลีอะไรเงี้ย
yeah, it's entertaining.
Eagle Eye
This
ใช่ปะ
tournament.
เมื่อก่อนจะแบบว่าจะโดนล้อหน่อย
Actually recognizing timeouts exist.
Yeah,
I can talk to my teammates. What?
he really wants to bring this one to an end. Not allow for that further reset, for this to go deeper.
Yeah, I mean, we talk about
เดี๋ยวนี้แม่งเงี้ย
teams
แล้วก็เกาห
trying
ลี
to have consistency throughout the year, right?
ทรงเกาหลีเสื้อผ้า
not
เกา
going
หลี
towards Toronto, T1 not going towards Toronto. DRX were our victors and
Oh, we
master
need
reps
to
as well
find
just
out.
previously. If they also bow out,
ถ้าตายทำได้นะกูบอกเลยลุกเลยอะ
Be
Không
set
phải
up
anh lục
for
nè.
ต้องไม่เหลือถึงตายแล้วเมื่อกี้จะได้
wonky year, piecing out on that middle section
ไอ้
and
ที่น่าจะ
having
โด
to
ดมา
rely
ยิงคิวได้
on champions to make another appearance and
Đẹp
have
rồi.
an opportunity at a trophy. See though, you can tell how desperately both of these teams want that final slot.
yeah. Back towards this A site yet
ปล่อย
again.
รีเทคอย่างเงี้ย
Set up
เสร็จเราดิ
of Jit Boys, a bit different in
Oh,
the actual
เรากันดี
placement
กว่า
of the trap wires as Hyunmin is stunned. He is in the site and not having to
Oh,
contend
man.
with
แล้วแถบไม่ได้
any
เคลียร์นะ
of
คิดว่ามี
the
คนติดไหม
traps just
มี
yet.
พี่มีคนติดไหม
Does get situated.
เหมือนจะ
And
ไม่
over
มี
the
ว่ะ
top, looking for the spot out.
โอ้โดดไม่ขึ้นโอ้โหมันน่าจิตได้นะน่ะ
Oh, this could be
จิต
a
จะเอาเพย์อยู่
fight
แล้วไอ้
versus
เหี้ย
fight. These are always so
Mako
ผมมากดโดนกระทืบ
sides,
มากดโดนกระทืบ
use it,
ต้อง
faces
ต้องได้
it.
ได้ต้องได้
The plant coming through here.
ไอ้ไหนอะไรไอ้คนละพีกโว้
More reswing, some damage. Double
Hey!
going to be dead at the same time as Cruz is able to find that kill now. A 4v3 Bane.
Wait,
He's
long.
riding the rope.
ไอ้ร่างนี้หลอกไม่ฉลาด
Swinging around the back.
โอ้แพ้แล้วว่ะ
No pings. Softens it
โอ้จีจี
as he arrives
ไม่
here
จี
onto the south
ได้
side.
หนึ่งได้
And
มั้ง
this
ได้แค่
could
หนึ่ง
be absolutely
GG,
devastating for Talon.
แค่หนึ่ง
Bane is looking to
เข้าไป
unleash them. Swings in.
สวย
Sees one. Sees
นั่
two.
นแหละ
Strikes
เอา
down.
หมด
Gunman at the same time.
ไม่มีทาง
Able to find two.
มาดิ
back on the
มาดิ
side.
คิดรัวนะ
It's just Kalua.
มาดิ
If he finds
เอารวมไหม
the
นะ
one, he gets himself a rolling thunder. 8 bullets, but no hope in hell.
จะได้วะ
Hyunmin will get the 3K. DRX get the series. 14 to 12. Push
ไหน
to
ดูจับมือไหม
OT.
จับมือไหม
But out of it,
ฟอนต์
swiftly
มาหน่อย
once
ฟอนต์
again here on Fracture.
ฟอนต์เดินหน่อยมาแสดงให้เห็นหน่อยว่าเราแบบเหม็นนะ
Hacking
ก่อน
here.
จากกันนะครับก็ใครที่ชอบคลิปนะฝากกดไลค์นะครับกด Subscribe นะครับผมก็จะได้เป็นกำลังใจในการทำคลิปต่อๆไปนะครับขอบคุณมากครับ